30th, 2026, the 375th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Donald Trump and Senate Democrats said Thursday that they had struck an agreement to fund most of the federal government less than 30 hours before spending is set to lapse. The agreement would fund DHS at existing levels for 2 more weeks to allow both parties to try to hash out a deal to impose new restrictions on federal immigration enforcement. New restrictions? What were the old restrictions? They were doing everything except releasing the Epstein files. At a January 29th cabinet meeting, Trump said he wants to make it easier for Americans to buy homes, but not by making housing less expensive. Instead, he suggested lower interest rates. That's like fighting hunger by giving people coupons to McDonald's. Release the Epstein files. Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, on Thursday signed a law that will open the nation's oil sector to privatization, reversing a tenet of the self-proclaimed socialist movement that has ruled the country for more than 2 decades. So instead of Venezuelan elites keeping the money, American elites will keep the money. There, all better. Releasemos los archivos Epstein. Director of National Security Tulsi Gabbard accompanied the FBI on Wednesday at an election center in Fulton County, Georgia, as FBI agents conducted a raid seeking ballots from the 2020 presidential election, which Trump has falsely claimed he won. It makes sense. Gabbard falsely claims she has intelligence. Release the Epstein files. This has been a Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for January 30th, 2026, the 375th day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV. And release the Epstein files.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Oh, you know what we've got to do? Let's do fact check. Always a good button to pull. That's fine. Your button, too. Don't push my button. Oh, you got to push my button. That's
damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Yes.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wasn't that one?
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Okay, we're going to make you sleep. And listen, I'm ready for a good long sleep, like a permanent good long sleep. I know, I'm a depressive kind of a bitch, aren't I? I think you can take pitch. I'm talking about the YouTube algorithm. I think you can take kind of a pitch. If you can't, then I'm in trouble. But I think you can. Why not? Good morning, folks. Friday, if that means anything to you. Friday, January 30th, 2026. I've said it before, but I'm feeling like could be my last day. I felt that way yesterday. I was just like, man, I am just so... We've lost. Humanity has lost. My friend, our friend, I say that, he probably like, what do you mean? I was on your show once a couple of weeks ago. John Fugelsang. Saw him arguing with a guy yesterday. Not arguing. Trying to point out that a guy who calls himself a Christian doesn't follow Christ. And the guy said, well, go ahead, tell me how unchristian I am. It's like, well, I'll take this one 100%. blah, blah, blah. Call me a communist, whatever. I said, well, do you follow Christ? Because it's not. I'm not trying to convert you. I'm not trying to say that I'm saved. Certainly don't feel like I am. I'm just saying the meaning of the word Christian. It's got Christ right in it. And if you don't follow Jesus and the teachings, at least according to the only book that really lays out what his teachings were, then you're not a Christian. Well, salvation, I'm not talking about salvation. I'm just talking about if you want to call yourself Christian, you should at least follow Christ because it's right in the beginning of the name. Christian, right? Christ. So I said, well, at least I know the true Christians would welcome you anyway, because that's what true Christians do. Now he's thinking that I am trying to proclaim that I am a true Christian and I'm saved or whatever. And I know, no, I don't. I'm just saying we have to agree that words have meaning and stick to the meaning of the words that are there. Like, yeah. If you are a Christian, you follow Christ. Now, tell me what parts of the teachings of Christ, as far as the only book that lays out what they were, tell me how you agree with them. You care about welcoming the foreigners and the strangers, and you care about that? You care about blessed are the meek and all of the Beatitudes? You care about the things he told you to care about? Because if not, why even bother calling yourself a Christian? Anyway, so now he's off of John Fugelsang and he's stalking me. Like, I can't give you salvation because, listen, I'm the devil. I don't know if the horns might not show through the bald head, but I'm going to hell. I know I'm on an express train going down, but I'm not trying to pretend that I'm something that I'm not. And I'm not holding up a book that I've never read. Speaking of things that I've never read, I have done, last night I was doing a deep dive on geese. That's right, I'm talking about geese. They're very good. What? See, the problem is, hello, come in. The problem is they went on Saturday Night Live with this big counterculture type of vibe to them, which it's silly in the first place because it's a culture platform. You're going on a very culture platform acting counterculture. To me, you are just asking for negative critique. But they went on and they did this song, and call it a song loosely, in an odd time signature that had no apparent melody, and the lyrics were really obscure and hard to understand. And how can anybody say that, how could anybody expect that people who are used to a 4/4 groove and a melody and easy to understand lyrics are going to appreciate that? To me, the analogy here is, imagine you got to be old to kind of follow me back to 1964. Come on, back to 1964, all the way back. And imagine an Ed Sullivan show is the platform that people go to find out about rock and roll in 1964. And the Beatles have their big debut on Ed Sullivan, introducing them to the United States of America. And instead of playing I Want to Hold Your Hand, they play Revolution Number 9. Number 9, number 9, number 9. And then they get a second shot later on in the show, and they play Wild Honey Pie, where they just, not Honey Pie, Wild Honey Pie, the one where John Lennon just screams, Honey Pie! You can imagine the critics might have just said, this is not good. And I think that's what Geese did. They went on, listen, there's not a whole lot of mainstream television platforms, but Saturday Night Live is certainly one where they highlight new music. They went on there. Basically, a lot of America was finding out about them for the first time. And they play a song. And again, I use song very loosely. In 13, I think it's 13.8. It might be 13.4. Might be 13.4.5 because it seems like there's an extra, like half a beat in there somewhere. It's very weird. The drummer is like throwing off like Steve Gadd technique. there's like no melody at all. And we went through the lyrics the other day, and they're just like, I could see, young kids saying, "Yeah, I'm in for the bomb in the car. I love that." But the fact is, they were looking to get negative criticism. And here's the big part of it is they're laughing at everybody because this was the intent. They went on there and it got them more eyes, more ears, more notice, more visibility than if they would have played it safe. So good for them. But I did a deep dive last night, and the album 3D Country, friggin' fantastic. I mean, great stuff. There's some of it that is very soulful. There's some of it that is just like locked in groove stuff. There's some great melody. There's even some quality lyrical content in it. And so screw me for just trying to judge them on one song, which was intentionally meant to piss off boomers like me. I hope that I hope that satisfies people like Mishka Shubali, who said, "I've been overthinking this thing." Well, that's what you asked me, what my opinion of a band I never heard of before, and so I just went to check them out. Oh, and a performance I wasn't aware of, and I went out to check out that performance, and that performance was strange. So, and it confused me. So, of course, I'm going to overthink it. Anyway, we're going to talk about meditation today. And energy healing and things like that. My guest is Michelle Madonna. She will be with us in one moment. First, I have to let GD in the room, don't I? I have to, and the only way I can do that is to play a commercial while I talk about things that we have to sell. We got to start selling stuff here, or I'm out. Anyway, Valentine's Day is coming up. You know that, right? Can I get some music back here? Yeah, here you go. Valentine's Day is coming up, and it might be your last one. Wine Express. Let me tell you about Wine Express. WineExpress.com is an exclusive wine shop partner of the Wine Enthusiast catalog and website, which have been providing quality wine accessories and storage for 40 years. Now, I am curious about a website they had 40 years ago. Aren't you? 40 years ago, that would be 1986. Did you have the internet then? No, but some people were in a basement with a lot of wine drinking, and they would just doing a website for 3 people who had, I don't know. Anyway, during that time, they served millions or 3 millions of satisfied customers and built a loyal following of avid wine lovers. It's only natural then that for them to have teamed up with the great wine shop to bring their customers their first quality wines at valuable prices. You can get up to 75% off your first order if you go there today. Our link is in the description. Should I show you that link? I should show you that link, shouldn't I? Wine Express, is this it? Yes, Wine Express VNEOGA.net, and it's got like some squiggly letters there. It looks like YQ, capital G3, capital E. You know what? The link's in the description. Just click it. Gotta read these complicated. What can we get just a simplified URL to give to people? It's Friday morning. I'm a little stressed out, but you know what? Our guest today is going to help me with the stress part, maybe, and then the PTSD part, and everything else that's going wrong with me. All right, you can turn off that music now. Can you just kill that music? Can we? Oh, no, we can't. Please? All right, very good. And now we can kill that banner, and let's say hello to GD. If we can kill the banner, please. Man, I'm having a tough time today. Happy Friday. Good morning, GD. I think you're muted. You're muted, dude. How did that happen? You're never muted. Are you muted? You can hear me? You mute.
I didn't.
How does that happen?
Okay.
No, I didn't mute you. I would never mute you.
Yeah, right. Good morning, America. MyDogTV.com. Get your coffee with the dog. Hey, plow this. Sign to hold up next time a snowplow drives by your drive. This sign features Matt Nappo holding 2 middle fingers and 1 middle appendage to welcome the snowplow in his neighborhood. Go to MyDogTV.com/merch for all your stuff that you don't need but ought to have. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
So, will you be plowing me? You're going to be you're going to be driving around the neighborhood with your snowplow, and you're going to be like plowing people in their driveway. And as you do it, you're going to be blocking them in, and you're going to go he, right? You're going to he.
Actually, what I
maybe give them the
did,
finger.
actually on the day that we had the day I got my snowplow back, snow thrower, I should say, my snow thrower back. Before I even did my own driveway, I helped a neighbor get their car out of.
Look at you, you Christian guy.
Because their car got plowed in, and so I was walking my plow back to my house, and I stopped to help this little lady about so high get her car out.
Well, we don't know how high that is.
No,
that she could be not. You could be sitting up on like a thing, and she could be 12 feet tall by doing this, right? It's about so high.
It's relative. It's relative to wherever you are. So she's this high.
Okay. Well, that looks like she's 2 feet high then.
Right, but in some places she's 9'7".
So you helped out Shaq's grandmother, is what you're saying?
Yes, I did. Yes.
All right. Well,
and
help me out.
That was before I did my own driveway my snow thrower was broken, and so it was out being repaired, and they brought it back.
You should have tested it.
I did. I tested it for like a quarter mile because they couldn't get to my street. So I walked up to meet the truck, and we took it off the thing, and I walked it back. We turned it on, and I walked it back to my house, and that's why I got to help the people before I got to help myself.
All right, I got to just do it really quick because you write that stuff for the Rev there, the morning news thing, but he never gives me like a New York area weather update, which is really all I really care about. It's like, what's going to happen? Am I going to have a bombogenesis?
Actually, I did write a New York weather update just for you, but when I looked at how much time it was going to take, it took me way over the 2-minute mark. I said, well, I got to cut something. I'll cut this. And notice why I cut it because it was the last thing added. See, there's no order. I take the news articles as I find them, and if it's not something that I've talked about before, or something that needs to be, if it's something that needs to be updated or something that hasn't been talked about, that's how I go. So I just go through the headlines and say, okay, I haven't talked about this. Well, this should be updated. I'll grab it, and I just grab it in any order, whatever order it is. I don't say, okay, this is funnier, this is not as funny, or whatever.
So Michelle is waiting patiently in the back. So we'll say the conversation about this Fulton County stuff for the second hour. It's very stressing for me, and maybe I need some meditation to de-stress. Right? Is that now? My dopey computer, I can't even. I'm just going to go off the cuff here, folks. I'm not going to read this. This is going to come just from what I know. Michelle Madonna is a meditation coach, energy healer, Reiki practitioner, is a master level coach for meditation, and she's got a thing that she is starting for online courses for meditation called Clarity Mind Studio. She's here now to say hello to us. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure to have you. I'm mentioning I'm stressed out, and I think a lot of people are stressed out. I talked to a friend yesterday who is actually from Iran, and the
world is pretty stressed.
Yeah, and he was just talking about his belief that our consciousness is rising, and we're about to have a breakthrough here. And I was like, that's fine, but I need something for today. Can I have? I can't wait. So let's start with just a little bit.
We can do a meditation today. We can do a meditation.
Yeah. Well, that would be good. I would appreciate that. But let people know a little bit about you. How long have you been doing this? Meditation and energy healing, energy discovery.
So I've been practicing yoga for over 15 years. So that was my foundation for the beginnings of learning, meditation more in the movement level. And then as I got a little bit older, around the time of COVID, I started learning about energy healing, which really fascinated me. I was dealing with a lot of stress in my life, and I started working with an energy healer. And I just noticed such huge improvements in my levels of stress. I started to feel more calm, more grounded, and there was definitely, some internal healing happening. And I continued to work with the healer, and I became so fascinated with it because, as humans, we're all energy, and we're a system. We're physical, we're spiritual, mental, emotional, and that's all, connected. So energy healing works on this universal level where it releases any blockages we have in our body, and it just restores the natural flow of energy through our system. So the whole world of energy healing is really fascinating, and I've just seen with my own clients and with my friends and family that I've practiced on, and I also practice on myself, such unbelievable improvements in their lives. And some of those happen fairly quickly, some of them unfold over time, and it depends what that person is going through. But I also became really fascinated with meditation, because meditation, I started learning, I worked with a spiritual coach, and over the course of a few years, and I really loved it. It just really helped me come back to myself, deal with life stressors, anxiety. I had a tremendous amount of anxiety at the time. Was kind of working through some of my own personal, challenges in my life, and I know everyone goes through things like that in their lives, and it really helped me also discover myself even more, and realize that I actually had a different calling in life. So it kind of different path from, I used to be, well, I am a landscape architect. That was my prior business, but I changed, my entire career. So I studied meditation. I took courses with Jack Kornfield and Deepak Chopra. I became certified as an energy healer, and all this took place over the course of about 5 years until I fully transitioned and launched Clarity Mind Studio.
I'm not familiar with Jack Kornfield. I know the name. Obviously, Deepak Chopra was kind of on television in the 80s and 90s and stuff. So I'm very familiar with at least who he was. Is he still alive?
Oh, yeah, he is alive and still meditating and teaching people how to meditate.
He
Well,
just
that's
seemed
good
like
that he's still meditating. That'd be terrible to start this whole meditating movement in business and then goes like, I'm not going to meditate anymore.
Yeah, right.
I've made enough money. I'm not going to meditate. I'm going to just start drinking.
That's a funny observation, but it also is kind of an important kind of thing. Like, as people get older, and sometimes we lose a bit of cognitive strength, ability, whatever. Is it still possible to meditate in the same way?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Actually, meditation increases your cognitive ability, and it is anti-aging. So it actually changes the telomeres in your body, and it lengthens them. So these are facts. Like, you can read. I have a lot of information on my website about the NIH studies and Harvard studies and like real scientific studies, and then this is actually all proven fact. So
very cool. So, and now that's the extreme. So you can work with it very old. Is there a minimum age where people can start this, or kids?
Kids. I took a whole course on teaching meditation to kids, which I'm very excited to get into. So you can start at a very young age. Probably you can start really as young as they can sit still, right? You're going to shorten the length of the meditation time, start with a few minutes, right? You can teach children at a very young age, and it's really amazing. I've tried with some of my friends' children, and sit with them and kind of, just like kind of have them not talk, and just, or you could do a little like guided meditation with them to keep them a little, keep it interactive. There's a lot of things you can do with children.
Now, there's an upside and a downside to what you just said. Because one thing, if you can teach a child to focus, if you can teach a child at an early age to focus and be quiet and things of that nature, it helps them in the long run. Because one thing, they won't be throwing the tantrums in the store because they've learned a little bit of patience. The downside is if your punishment for a child is timeout, they're just going to go meditate and they're not going to feel punished. So it's a balancing act.
I'll play the angel's advocate here.
A child that meditates may not have to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. As the angel's advocate, I'm usually the devil's advocate, but in this instance, I was going to play the angel's advocate. The kid might be less inclined to need a timeout because they've
absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
children
really
are children.
Children are children. You're always going to have a problem with the child at some point. They can't help it. No matter how much you teach a child to meditate, at some point they're going to get around their friends. And they're going to be told you have to rebel. If you don't rebel, you're not a kid.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the nature, of growing up. Absolutely, the teenage years,
We by the way, we already have a comment about Reiki. Yeah, from New Zealand. This is all from New Zealand, right? Reiki helped me heaps.
That's how they measure things in New Zealand. It's measured in heaps and heapfuls.
Even distance. Yeah, I didn't even know. So before we get too deep here, the word meditation can mean a lot of different things to different people. And earlier this week we were talking about it and found that there were loosely, I don't know, 42 what?
There was 10 essential types of meditation and 32 advanced forms of meditation.
Okay, so who gets to say we can't have 43, first of all? But for people who may be confused by all that, because it can mean so many things to so many different people, break it down. What exactly are we talking about here?
Well, there's a lot of different types of meditation, right? Some rooted in more traditional, Buddhism, and then like with my studies with Deepak Chopra, it's more ancient Indian Vedic tradition. So some of it is tradition, right? But then there's this whole other level of meditation. You don't have to be associated with any sort of religion or anything like that to meditate, right? And then movement meditation. There's breath awareness meditation, guided visualizations, different breathing techniques can help with, put you into a meditative state. Sound mantras, you can use sound mantras as like a focus to like Om to kind of you get out of your thoughts in your mind and you focus on a mantra. So there's a lot of different types of meditation. It's amazing because it keeps it.
I think the big takeaway is that if you want to meditate, there's a form of meditation that can meet you where you are, because not everybody's in the same place when they start meditating. So if you try to meditate and you're trying a form that's not conducive to the way you are, it's going to be a tougher hill to climb than if you find another way. And then once you find a way, you don't have to stick with that way. You may evolve and find another method of technique that works with you.
Yeah, and I just, some people think they can't meditate. I don't believe that. I believe anyone can meditate. It's actually, if you simplify it, all you really need to do is be able to sit down and close your eyes in a fairly quiet place, or even sometimes it doesn't have to be quiet. So anyone can do that. I think people have a misconception that they have to stop their thoughts, and that's not what meditation is. We learn how to observe them, right? And then we become disattached. We don't have to attach to our thoughts or our emotions, and they kind of, they're just all temporary states, really.
Well, that's kind of like where dialectical behavior therapy comes in, because it helps you work with two opposing thoughts at the same time.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, this is something I've struggled with, because in my youth, I studied hypnosis and used to do hypnosis, whatever. I'm not even sure hypnosis is a great definer of what the thing is really. But it was very easy for me to get into a state of very quiet mind. And as I get older, and especially with if I
let the outside influences of the internet and all the constant distractions that we have in. When I try to get into that state, it is just like it's noisy as hell inside between my ears, and trying to, and I sound like a schizophrenic a little bit here now, right? Trying to quiet some of the just noise that goes on between my ears is a very difficult thing for me. It's getting harder as I get older. Is that common?
Oh yeah, it's very common. Even the most experienced of meditators experience thoughts, and they're, you're never going to get rid of them. That will never happen for anyone. Realistically, you just observe them, and sometimes the mind is going to be more active, and then as we sit there and over time, maybe we spend 5 minutes a day and we work up to 10 minutes, you'll notice your mind will start to quiet down, and you'll have more space between your thoughts, right? You'll have more silence, and you can access that, and you can train your mind. Meditation is really training your mind, because you don't have to let your thoughts control you, right? We can observe them and see them as they are, and release them. It's kind of like a constant. Meditation's like a letting go of things too.
Yeah.
Letting go of the thoughts, letting go of emotion, letting go of the external world, letting go of the noise.
That's a very difficult thing,
lot, right?
Yeah,
and we can do that, and we can empower. Yeah.
Now, Matt, one of the things, because you're talking about the voices, like turning off the noise in your head, just think of how difficult it is for people who are just empty-headed. Then there's this cavern where there's this echo. So it's not just the noise is like, it's like thought, distraction. So at least, Matt, your brain is full, and so there's not so much echo.
All right.
Well, sometimes I use nature too. I have a lot of I use nature as a healing tool, because nature is very healing. So sitting, being by the ocean, sitting on the sand, connecting to nature, walking, things like that, for people who feel like they can sit down and do it, are also very meditative. Listening, it's called mindfulness. You listen to the waves, you focus on your senses, and then it takes you out of your thinking mind.
Now, you said you used to do landscaping, right? That was your business before. So
yeah,
were you your meditation? I guess what I'm getting at is, it seems like there's a pattern. Your first career was landscaping. Now to meditate, one of the things you like to use is nature. So maybe you were predisposed to that, which is why you chose landscaping to help. Because when I do yard work, that's my meditation.
It is.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I say there's so many ways to meditate. Gardening, being out in nature is a meditation, because you will completely, like, I notice it myself when I'm in my garden. Hours will go by and I'm like, wow, I feel great, if I'm just in the moment. So meditation is learning how to be in the present moment. It's present moment awareness. And when you're there, the stress goes away. It disappears.
It's so difficult, though. I mean, I spent, especially like right before the pandemic hit, I was working on an album called Living in the Moment. And the whole idea was based on that concept. But even though I lived with the concept and studied different people's ideas of how you actually achieve that, never got to really, I'm always either in the past or in the future, very rarely in the present moment for very long, because something will drag my attention away, either backwards or forwards. So that's a very difficult thing for me. How does meditation help you achieve that? Just shutting off, saying no to distractions, I guess, is what the part.
Well, number one is you have to create the space for yourself, right? And so many people say, well, I'm busy, I don't have time, right? You have to create it. You have to create some space for yourself to sit with yourself, be with yourself, find the silence, and you learn. You'll feel it over time. It's a practice. You have to keep coming back. You have to keep doing it. I still have to do it. Sometimes I get stressed out, distracted, anxious, right? I mean, it's never going to go away. But over time, I notice I can sit down, I can learn how to take control of my life and empower myself and say, I can take 5 minutes to meditate, sit with myself and let this go, because a lot of it's about, the loss of control and fear and things like that. And when you meditate, you kind of like get more grounded, you're like, you're in the present moment. I can, I'm going to make it through this, whatever it is. Right. Or, telling yourself things like that too is
so weird. Fear is a thing that is, people who have known me all my life think that I pretty much fearless, and I describe myself now as full of fear. If I could pray for anything, it would be to rid me of this constant fear of not necessarily personal, just the world. I'm afraid of everything that's going on in the world that I have no control over. And before you said letting go, we've been talking a lot about letting go, and my lack of ability to let go of things that are not in my control, and stress about things that there's no reason for me to stress about, because I have no, even if I put all my energy into trying to deal with it, I'm not going to affect that change. I'm not going to have any effect on it at all. I know that here, absorbing it here is a whole different thing. I still hold on to those fears.
Absolutely. Well, what I do is when I feel those things, because a lot of people feel them and it's totally natural and normal with everything that's happening in the world, is I shift to what can I do? What can I do to make it better, to make the world more kind and compassionate and caring and loving? And what acts can I do on a daily basis? Like you went and shoveled your neighbor's driveway. You didn't have to do that, right? You could have easily said, but you did, and that makes a difference in someone's life.
Yeah, but she's cute, so
she's only this big. I don't know if you noticed.
I'm teasing. She was probably really hot in her day because her kids are really gorgeous.
I love it. Okay, so you had a little motive, but that's okay. You still did it. You didn't have to, I think little things like that.
And to be honest, it's not that I did it. I did it without hitting on her. I just did it and said, "You're welcome." And she was, "Thank you." I said, "No, it's too cold to flirt. I gotta go. It's 9 degrees. I don't flirt beneath 32 degrees. That's it. That's my flirting threshold. My flirting freezes at 32. It's 9. I gotta go." So,
I'm getting a call from Peconic, New York. I'm not going to take it. It's a spammer. I know it.
It's a spammer.
Peconic. I didn't even know there was a town called Peconic. I know there's a river.
We're going to go to caller number 11.
Slaptail, where you been, Slaptail? He says someone is laughing at what GD is saying. Must be a new experience for her. For him. Oh yeah. No, he's had some people laugh at it, or is that canned laughter on those videos you have out? Anyway, but he talked about nature, and I don't know if this comes into the work that you do, but I am this time of year, seasonal affective disorder, whatever that is. I just really hate the winters. Like in between, say, April and October. As soon as the show is over, I go out and I sit outside and I relish in the nature. I'm near the beach, just down the 495 feet straight down is the beach. It's a beautiful rural area. Love nature. I got the animals coming up and dealing with me and all that kind of stuff. This time of year, I can't get any. It's like if I go, it's like living in the North Pole or something. It's really hard for me. So that part gets. Is it? Can we still connect with? I guess you can, right? I mean, connecting with nature when it's all ice. It's all ice.
I have a bird feeder outside of my window, and I just watch all the birds. Like every morning, I spend a few minutes, and it's very peaceful. And there's like a million different birds. I'm learning about all these new birds. I'm like, oh my God, there's a red-headed woodpecker and blue jays and cardinals are common, but there's all these other birds that I've never even seen before. So that's kind of my way, because it's been so cold. And usually when it's cold, I still do walks outside, but it's just been a little below the temperature where I feel comfortable.
Where are you located? I thought you were in
Hamptons. Yeah.
Hamptons, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
No, it's not, even though it's like, because we're covered with ice, like probably about 9 inches of snow and ice outside right now. And I put a bird feeder, when my wife started working from home, I put a bird feeder outside her window so that when she starts to stress out of work, she can look out the window and see the
Yeah.
squirrels and the birds and stuff like that. The only downside was at one point, our cat we had at the time knew that was her window to the world, and he would bring dead animals for her, and he would put them where she could see them, because
Yeah.
he's like, "Look, I killed a rabbit," and she'd go like, "Oh my god!" And she'd say to me, Glenn, will you go outside and get the dead rabbit that Ali put in the window for me?" Because he wanted her to see
I
the
know.
things he
Well,
got.
I don't have a cat. But yes, if you have a cat, that could happen.
So I have a URL go scrolling across, and it's in the description. And every platform that we're on, everywhere you are, you can look in the description. See it. It's ClarityMindStudio.com. Now, explain to me exactly how that works. What is it? It's like a course, because I'm thinking, and I know I'm all over the place here, but I'm thinking is meditation is not a one size fits all type of thing. Like everybody should do the same thing, right? So it's a very individual type of thing. Tell me about how the website works.
Sure. So the main part of the website is a virtual library of video and audio guided meditations. So it's all virtual. You can do them from anywhere you want, on your phone or on your computer. And all of the meditations are curated by me. So a lot of those meditations incorporate nature and mindfulness. I have a lot of different types of meditations tailored to the needs of you: stress, anxiety, trauma, depression. I have sound mantra meditations if you need a little bit more something to focus on. I have a lot of different types of meditations for rejuvenation and sleep, because a lot of people have sleep issues. I recorded live the sounds of the waves and the birds at the ocean, and it was just so beautiful. And just a lot of different ways to help people, positive affirmation meditations, and just everything was just really curated with a lot of love and intention. So, and the membership, it's a membership fee, and it's super affordable. It's $12.99 a month, and there's a discount for a yearly membership. So I wanted to make it accessible to people all over the world.
Okay, so if an individual comes there, how do they determine what part of the library they should go? Is there any guidance on that? Like this is,
there's just different sections, and they can kind of play around and see what they like and try different things. I have very short meditations too for beginners, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So, if you want to start small, you can do that.
Wow.
You mentioned accessibility. Now, I have a question that's going to sound stupid, but I really don't have an answer in my head. Otherwise, I would probably be making jokes about it if I already knew about it. You teach yoga, and I've seen things like, well, you're a yoga instructor as well, correct?
No, I don't teach yoga, no.
Oh, my apologies then, because I got from the website, I got the impression that you also taught yoga.
No, probably. Well, I practice yoga, so some of my poses are probably yoga meditation like. I practice.
Oh, got it. Okay, I apologize. In that case, this question wouldn't be fair to ask you then, because you're not an instructor.
Well,
I'm gonna put it out there
a little bit.
Huh? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, talk to that a little bit about how important is that necessary to get into these kind of body positions and all the kind of stuff that yoga does. Is that necessary for meditation?
No, not at all. I mean, I think movement is important for anybody, movement and exercise. So whatever that may mean for you, movement of the body. And I have a whole another part of clarity that I'm going to be developing on somatics and light movement. But, to be healthy and, wellness and good health, requires also some movement, exercising, walking, whatever it might be. It's good for us, so I just happen, I've had a yoga practice for many, many, many years. So.
Wow.
Okay. I was just curious about yoga for people in wheelchairs, because a lot of the yoga, I mean, you see all this, literally there's a lot of yoga stuff out there, like goat yoga, cat yoga, bird yoga, You know what I'm saying? And so, but I didn't see. I mean, I know that there's a lot of yoga movements that are from the torso up and things, but some people, like in a wheelchair and stuff, I was just wondering about wheelchair yoga, so to speak, for lack of a better term.
Well, they do have accessible yoga, chair yoga. They do. You have to kind of find those classes. Some studios will offer them, but chair yoga is a good one because if you're in a wheelchair, you can kind of do some of the more upper body movements, because it's nice to have things accessible, for all people.
Interesting. So I've never even considered, because I thought they would have an advantage being used to. Listen, I know movement is important, but it feels like for me, just sitting still is difficult for me, and part of that is because of a lot of different kind of substances I put in my body, and I want to talk about that because the name of the show is Coffee with the Dog, and I've been a caffeine abuser for more than 50, probably more than 60.
As a matter of fact, people watching this show and you on YouTube, Matt is actually sitting in a cup. If you look at Matt right now, he's sitting in a cup of coffee. That's just how much he loves coffee.
Yeah. So talk to me, because last night I was looking at this guy who was talking about Tai Chi for people over 60, and he really said, put down the coffee was the first thing. No more coffee. You got to drink water specifically. How much of that is, how much weight do you put on people? Because let me just finish the question, because I was finished, but I thought about this. The AA people or the 12-step people, they always say you can't cut out everything at once. So if if you're giving up drinking, don't give up cigarettes and other things at the same time. So coffee is just one of mine, but there are many things that I need to give up and just have water. So if you could keep that in mind with your answer.
Well, I think anything in moderation is okay. I don't think you have to completely give up coffee, right? I mean, you like coffee, like me. I love coffee. I have 1 cup in the morning. Once in a while, I'll have a cup in the afternoon. And maybe you just need to cut down little by little, just cut down a little bit. And do it over time, it takes time, you don't want to just like cut it off. And some people do that and it works for them, but it's kind of like how you feel you could do it. Like, how can you manage it for yourself? Because we're not like other people. You're you, so you might have to just slowly cut it down.
Yeah, over 60 years I have from 12 cups a day to 1 cup a day, which is good. But
but that cup is just big.
It's a cup, but it's a decent sized cup. But this final cup, I mean, I just can't ever see myself just it's like part of who I am. I know it. So
you have to
See, but that philosophy about you can't quit everything at one time kind of didn't work well for my parents, because my father was a habitual cheater, and my mother wanted my father to give up the cheating, and my father goes, "Look, I am trying. I'm doing it one girlfriend at a time." So I dropped Molly. Okay, I dropped Molly. I only have 4 girlfriends left, and I swear I will get one at a time. I will drop them off as my tolerance changes. It didn't work well for my parents.
Yeah, some things like that. But if that's the type of person you are, I mean, that could be the type of person you are.
Well, that's who he was. She knew that when she married him.
Yeah. So, sometimes we can't change that, right?
Yeah.
That's it's kind of an upsetting or depressing thought that there are things about us that we can't change, because that's the whole idea here, is trying to change the things that we don't like about ourselves. We
don't. There's some things you can't change, but you can develop new coping mechanisms.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. It's like some things, like I will forever be gorgeous. I can't help it. Okay.
Yes.
But I can tamp it down so when I walk out in public, not everybody is fawning over me. Okay. Like my wife says, don't shave for a couple of days because you're less attractive when you have stubble. So I let the stubble grow. You just develop coping mechanisms, Pat.
And you don't know why we get emails that say you're a narcissist. I'm just
love yourself. Love yourself.
I don't know why we get the letters. We should get packages.
Yeah.
All right.
So you think we could, without like making, because some people are listening on the radio and driving cars. We don't want them to kind of just space out.
yeah.
You think we
No,
could try some kind of stress, like a beginner's level stress relief exercise?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Well, do a disclaimer for those people so that they don't.
Disclaimer, if you're driving, do not do this meditation. Do not close your eyes.
Until
Wait,
you know
I wasn't
Jesus
ready.
has grabbed the wheel.
Don't close your eyes while driving.
Wait, I wasn't ready. Say it again.
Oh, I said do not close your eyes while driving. Disclaimer. You guys, I love you. Okay, so let's just start. Just get into a comfortable position and straighten your spine a little bit. You can, if you can put your feet on the floor, feel your feet connected to the floor. Put your hands on your lap. And just slowly and gently close your eyes. We're just going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Make a little sound. Take another breath in and out. Just going to let go of any thoughts that are coming up. Just see them. Realize they're just thoughts and they actually don't have meaning. We can choose to let them go. You can imagine them drifting out of your mind, out of your body, out of your spirit, just drifting away. Now you're just going to bring your attention to your breath. Notice the inhalation and the exhalation. Just let the breath be natural. You may feel the air flowing in and out of your nose. You can repeat the word calm. 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 Keep noticing the breath. If your thoughts arise, you can return to your breath and refocus. Returning to the breath is a breath awareness practice when you notice thoughts. You just keep coming back to the breath. Now we'll start to slowly awaken from the meditation. Maybe you want to bring the word calm back with you when you open your eyes. When you're ready, you could slowly and gently open your eyes. That was a quick one.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say for people tuning in sometimes on the radio, like those silences are like,
I know.
Is there something wrong with my radio? Is it like, I do it. It's supposed to be there.
You said to get comfortable, so I laid down, but once I got down as a joke, I couldn't get up.
Yeah.
I know that can happen.
My thing with the breath is I concentrate on the breath, and then I feel like, am I not doing it? Because I've been taught different breathing techniques. Like when I first started, they would say, breathe in as deep as you can get it for as long as you can get it, and then make the count as you're going through your nose. You fill up your lungs as full as they can get, and then wait 8 seconds or whatever they used to say, and then breathe out through the mouth, but make it take twice as long as the inhale. And it's like I'm thinking too much. The whole purpose is to shut off that kind of
that's why I kind of focus on the natural breath, just like the way you're naturally breathing, not too much, because sometimes people can't take an inhale that deep or an exhale that deep exactly. So makes it a little more simplified with just becoming aware of your natural breath.
Yeah.
Years ago, I was studying to be a minister, and in our class, at the end of the class, we'd have a 20-minute meditation. Now, the thing is, it started, maybe it was 10. I can't remember if it's 10 or 20 now. But since it was a class, it was never changed. From the very first time that we meditated, that was the duration. And the teacher said to us, some of you are going to fall asleep. Some of you may even start snoring. It's okay. We'll wake you up when we're done.
Yes.
I'm fine
a
with
lot
that.
of people fall asleep during meditation.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, absolutely.
So that wasn't just like a very brief one, though, right?
That was very brief. I just wanted to do a short one with you.
Right. Would that be considered what you mean by guided meditation?
Yeah, I'm guiding you and kind of, giving you direction, and, so you learn.
I just want to answer this one. Sunshine, she's our favorite. And we hate to play favorites here, but she says thank you. Thank you, Sunshine. And I think gratitude is a big part of all this kind of thing. Somebody told me yesterday, you can't be in a state of gratitude and stress at the same time. So
It's true.
I've been thinking about that a lot since yesterday. Like, okay, if I could just stay in gratitude, then I could keep. Oh, there you go. Well, mine says, oh no, never mind.
I mean, some people. I mean, this is, I guess, an oversimplification, but when I was growing up, and I had a very bad temper, and I was told to count to 10. Before you act, count to 10. Which in itself is kind of like a meditation. It's like a 10-second meditation. It's like, so I count to 10, and then I'd punch my brother in the face because I had time to think about where I was going to hit him. It's like
brotherly love.
Yeah, I was thinking, let's say, because 10, 9, I hit him solar plexus. I hit him in the solar plexus. 7, 6. No, gut punch. 5, 4. No, I'll kick him in the nuts. 3, 2, 1 in the face. No, I'm sorry.
I think he wants to take you, Michelle. I think you are becoming his audience. Basically, he wants to put you in the front row because you're the only one who's ever laughed at his jokes like that.
I like him. I like you.
That's a B, right? But that whole thing, is there stuff, because I think a lot of young men especially have anger issues, and they used to say that count to 10 stuff, and I would say, by the time I can remember to count to 10, I'm already in a rage, because when anger hits you, it's like it can flip on a dime, like really quick. You don't have time to consciously think, oh wait, I should count to 10. By the time you have that thought, oh wait, I should have to count to 10, you've already killed 10 people. In my case, maybe.
Well, yeah, anger is a good topic to talk about because everyone, I mean, even in my family, like no one was allowed to show anger, only certain people could. It was always like, don't be angry. But anger is actually a natural emotion. So you can do things to kind of get your anger out that are healthy, like in a healthy way, moving your body, shaking it out or whatever, because it's good to kind of release some of that energy instead of holding it all in.
Yeah. How long? Because and I hate to put this kind of pressure on you to give me a really definitive answer on this. But last night again, the guy who was talking about Tai Chi for men, men in
Mhm.
particular over 60s, and he promised you that in 7 weeks you're not going to recognize yourself. How long do people, if they really get into it and do it every day and stay faithful to the practice, how long before they start seeing results? And I'm not, nobody should hold you to the, oh, you'll see it in 3 days, you'll see it in a week, whatever. How
Yeah,
long though generally does it take?
I can't put a time on it because we're all so different and we all have like such different lives and needs and the way we respond to things. You can see an improvement immediately. Like it's true, immediately. You know, you can start to notice, wow, I felt a little better today, or I felt a little calmer today, or I felt like I could deal with this difficult thing a little easier. You know, you'll start to notice little things like that. I mean, it happened fairly quick for me, but over time, I mean, it did take me, I don't know how to explain it, but because it's a process, you know, it takes it's just a daily thing that you do, and over time you will start to notice little positive benefits. You know, you don't react as quickly as you used to. Things don't bother you as much, you know. You're like, wow, I'm really like actually a more calm person. I guess it's unbelievable. And you see it slowly over time. And it
Yeah,
can happen quickly.
that's fair. That's fair. I think a big part of the problem is we don't really take good measurements of ourselves and our behavior and do a lot of introspection and say,
Yeah.
am I a little bit different today than I was yesterday? And
Yeah.
if you don't measure that, you're not going to notice it
Yeah.
if you don't look at it. Uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
yeah.
know when I was a lot younger, I was in my 20s. I had a habit of never exploding with the children. I would, if their mother, they were my stepkids. If their mother and I were having an argument, I never took it out on the kids. It's like if I was mad at the mother, that was it. But the kids needed my attention, and sometimes I was still mad at the mother, and they would go like, "Dad, can we?" And I would always go, and I had this thing with my hand. I would rub my head, and so the daughter picked it up first. My stepdaughter picked it up first. She goes, they asked me something, and I went, and I did this, and she goes, "You're upset, aren't you?" I said, "Well, yes." She goes, "You're upset with mom?" I said, "Yes." She goes, and Kurt goes, "How could you tell?" She goes, "Because he always does this." And so I looked in the mirror, and I had a part because I had
Wow.
rubbed the hair out of that one section
Wow.
of my and I had to change that thing so I could grip my hair would grow back. But
I've been enlightened because I used to do this.
Oh, so I did. I had to stop. I stopped doing that because I was pulling the hair out of that one little spot.
You became
Yeah.
aware of what was happening.
Yes, because before I knew I was deliberately trying to keep the anger away from the kids because I wasn't mad with the kids.
Yeah.
So, but the anger was there, so I had to do something, and it was
Yeah.
pulling
Yeah.
out the hair. But because of that, I noticed when my stepdaughter was pulling her eyebrows, she had one spot when she was frustrated, she would pluck her eyebrows. And so I noticed it because I noticed it in me, then I noticed it in her, and I'd helped her find ways. Like I said, don't pull your eyebrows out. I said, or if you're going to do it, do both sides. So it's no.
We're almost to the point where we should wrap this up and allow Michelle to have her time back and stop abusing her here like we are. But I wanted because anytime people make a significant change in their life, your people around you don't necessarily want you to change. They might want to change a thing or two about you that they don't like, but they don't want you to make wholesale changes in your life. They don't want you. We don't want the people around us to kind of change who they are. And some people have some fear wrapped around getting started in whatever self-improvement programs or practices they might get into because of that. Did you when you first started this, and if you would share, if you could, did people change how they treated you when you started to explore this part of your life?
Certain people, yes, because I had to break out of some unhealthy family patterns and you see, I didn't want to contribute anymore to those unhealthy family patterns. And I realized it wasn't healthy for me, right? So I had to make better decisions for myself. I had to take back my time, my energy from certain people in my life, and they did not like that, right? Because I was always the nice Michelle, the people-pleasing Michelle, the do everything Michelle, be kind and loving and caring, right? But that came at a cost to me because I was constantly sacrificing myself for other people, right? In the name of family and love. But that's not healthy. You know, no healthy relationship is going to be like that, right? So, and that's hard. That's really difficult because these are people you love, right? But also you cannot allow yourself to be, you know, walked over or mistreated or, you know, things like that. So I learned a lot about myself, you know, and what I was giving and how I needed to take back for me. And that was hard, but I changed. But, you know, now I have more loving people in my life, kinder, you know, more compassionate. They want to see me succeed. They, you know, they want good things for me. It's a whole different life experience, and it can be a big transition.
Yeah. I've been going through this for since November 6th of 2024, the day after election day, where I cut a lot of people out of my life. People who have been close to me, some of them for 65 years at that time, some of them many for over 50 years, just close people. And there are some that, you know, even though they were toxic in my life, I miss them. I miss having those relationships, but then I have to remind myself of what they did to my
Yeah.
own personality and all the effects. So that's a very difficult thing when getting started in this, right? Yeah.
It's extremely difficult. It's not easy. And I think a lot of people have gone through it and are going through it. And it's really hard. You know, it is not easy because you love these people. They're limited in their capacities, right? Some people are just completely limited, unwilling, you know, to change or see how they are, how they act, right? And then some people are just honestly very mean, you know, and not loving people, you know, and you can't understand because you think they're family or friends or whoever you've surrounded yourself with, but that's, you know, that's not love. That's not how love operates. So
Yeah, and this is all coming back to the same issue that I've been having with letting go, because I have to accept the fact that no matter what I do, I'm not going to make them a more loving person. That's their journey, not my journey, and for the time being, I need to take care of myself, which means not letting them bring me down to where they are, but rising.
Setting boundaries.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being part of the program here. I hope people will check out ClarityMindStudio.com and hopefully help you get through whatever you're going through. And me, I'm gonna be a test case for Michelle. We're gonna see, because this audience sees me every day. They'll be a real good judge of, is he making changes for the better? Is he getting better? And GD will probably say, "What a lovely person you've become." Right?
I don't think I'll ever say that.
Okay.
Well, it's not that you wouldn't become a lovely person, but then I would be acknowledging that you were a hideous person, and I wouldn't want to do that either.
So, I could play the tapes for you.
What?
I played it. Remember that guy? Remember that guy said, "You know what? I'm glad you got ass raped in prison. Get the fuck off my show." Remember that guy?
No, I wouldn't. No. So Michelle, I just wanted to say that I enjoy your voice. I love your voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I can hear. It sounds like you're breathing from like way down here. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do appreciate. Now, the last thing is we're bracing here. You're on Long Island. I'm on Long Island. We're bracing for a possible another storm. I just want to say, if you get snowed in and you need help getting out of your driveway, GD is a new friend. He'll come in.
Yeah, because I'm in Maryland. I'm only a hop, skip, and a very long jump away.
Is that too far?
Too much here's the deal, I don't believe in going too far to help people I like. I don't have a problem with that. The problem is,
so you'll be there
I went
Monday morning.
What is it? A 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive? If I drove 5 hours, if I drove 5 hours to help Michelle out of the driveway, there's no way my wife is going to believe that we're platonic.
Yeah, exactly. And
No
neither
way.
will my husband.
Yes. Wait a second. He drove 5 hours, helped you out of the driveway, and just said, "Have a good day," and went back home.
That's
Right.
hilarious.
He didn't cop a feel. He didn't try to kiss you. No tongues. Just no. My wife would never believe it.
I don't.
My
I
wife
feel
doesn't
like
believe I helped the neighbor without something. She's like, "Oh,
I
what
feel
you
like
get
I
in
owe
return?"
Michelle an apology. I should have let it go like 4 minutes ago, and things would have been just fine.
I'm having fun with you guys.
Oh, that's good. Anyway, we do appreciate and thank you for being part of the program. And I hope people will go to ClarityMindStudio.com and partake of your services. And really keep me honest. And let's all do this together. Let's keep an eye on Matt and see if he's making any improvement. Michelle, have a great day, and I will be in touch with you very shortly. Bye for now. Bye. You know, we have somebody popping in the studio right now. I'm guessing that he probably has his snowplows all set up, lined up to put people in their driveways so that on Monday morning he can go he, or maybe even some.
I don't think where Ron is, I don't think they're getting any snow. So any snow that they have, he's got to use pre-existing snow.
So he's going to come
in
here to Long Island to block me in, and then I will get video of him going he and giving me the finger, right?
We're already mobilizing against you, Matt. There is a Discord chat that says getting Matt Napo. So.
I'm going mobile.
We're gonna actually the song Matt is gonna change the song and say "Plow Around Nappy."
I like it. Well, I don't like it, but I mean it's funny. Yeah.
Oh wait a minute! I got Matt to laugh. Let me be that. No, let me stop.
So Ron, you've been missing for in action since what? Monday, Tuesday, whatever.
Yeah.
I've been on this geese thing. I don't know if you caught any of my commentary on geese, because you were the one who first let me know about people saying that it was the worst performance on SNL ever, right? A musical performance on SNL.
Those people were too young to remember the vomit song.
Vomit song? Oh, what was you? Ashley Simpson?
Was it Ashford Simpson? Ashley Simpson?
Yeah, that was bad, but this actually seemed a lot worse because they were actually playing the instruments and doing the entire process of creating a song.
But
and the sound mixing was, I didn't see it, but according to an expert, Matt, the sound was mixed very horribly.
Well, it was mixed pretty bad, but Elizabeth told me last night that she watched it and she really liked it. And I know a lot of people were saying that anybody shitting on geese really is just like a goofy old boomer. And I'm like, Ron, you're a boomer. Not that you were necessarily shitting on them. You were just telling me that people were shitting on them. But I did check out the song Trinidad they did, and it is not, I think it was intended to have people say, wow, we don't get that. They wanted bad criticism of it. And I think it worked. I think it increased the visibility. More people are talking about them because they didn't play it safe and they played something that they knew was not for mass consumption. A lot of people would hate it. And I think they liked
when they did that song on because Saturday Night Live, the bands get 2 songs, right? Was that the first song they did or the second song they did?
Second song they did.
Okay, well okay. So what was the first song like?
I don't know. I didn't catch that one. That one's not on YouTube. At least
I'm curious because if the first song was much more palatable, then it makes sense that the second song, if you're going to lose your audience, lose them at the end of the show so that they don't say, I'm not going to watch the second song. You lure them in with like a happy-go-lucky song, whatever, and then.
Ron, did you watch both performances?
Yeah, I did. And
okay. What I'm talking about is Trinidad, right?
Yeah, I just didn't think the songs were good. That's it.
Yeah. It's odd. The song is called Trinidad, and there's nothing related to Trinidad in the song at all. Like, why did you name the song Trinidad? It doesn't say Trinidad. There's nothing that kind of conjures up imagery.
Well, it's like
they put a lot of bombs in cars.
Allman Brothers have a song called Jessica, right? They don't mention the name Jessica anywhere in the song.
Right, it's an instrumental.
You're missing the point, Matt. The point is nobody would know why that's called Jessica.
Well, they probably couldn't refer to Jessica because she was probably like 13 or 14.
She was 3. I think she was 1 or 2 at the time.
I think she was dead.
No, she was 1 or 2. He wrote it about her baby, his baby. He was watching her crawl across the floor, and that's what inspired the song.
I'll have to fact check that. But coming back to Geese, I'm not going to do it now. Your audience, do it for me because I'm lazy. That song Trinidad, I mean, it is in an odd time signature, and I'm guilty of judging this is who they are by what they do. The drummer was really going over the top to throw in all of his chops. The guitar work was very sparse and limited, and the lead guitarist, who is an androgynous person, I don't know if it's a woman or a guy or whatever, a guy in a kilt or it's a woman flat-chested. I don't know.
Trinidad is how you say 13. It's like tree is try is 3, and then dad is 10. They're saying 13.
I did not know that. Oh, well, that makes sense then because the song is almost.
I just pulled it out my ass. I have no fucking idea.
Oh, you're lying. You had me fooled. That was a good. See, now you said you don't lie, and there you go. You're lying.
Yeah, I said without letting people know it, and I let you know immediately.
Okay. All right. So the point is, this thing was not in an even tempo, like a groove that people are used to, 3/4/4/4 6/8, something that might be radio play. There is no apparent melody to it, and there's really absolutely no harmony, like vocal harmony going on. And the lyrics are confusing, like you can't tell what it's about. So to me, that would be like the Ed Sullivan Show, the Beatles showing up in 1964 instead of playing "I Want to Hold Your Hand," doing number 9.
It's not though, because there's a band from Canada called No Means No, and they're pretty much a punk band, and they're considered like math rock because they change time and in the middle of their songs and shit like that, and they're very good because they can play fast and tight, and then they'll, like I said, in the middle of the song they'll just fucking change the timing of the song, then they'll go back, and it's just the songs are better. I mean, you can have songs like that, but those songs to me just weren't great. That's all.
I get it. Because my first reaction was that this is just not for me, and I wasn't shitting on it. But it is very apparent that at least the drummer is extremely schooled. He was throwing in technique. He was doing some Steve Gadd stuff, some Buddy Rich stuff. He was definitely showing off his technique in that stuff. The guitar player, I can't tell if they were just like what they were doing. I mean, it was strange to me, but it was clear that in order to play in 13/4, 13/8, you have to have some schooling. They were playing in a Mixolydian mode, which is definitely, you have to have some jazz schooling to even understand that and get into that stuff. So it was clear that they had some music education. But to me, it's like, this just isn't for me. But my bottom line takeaway is that's what they're trying to say. They were trying to get, they were purposely trying to get negative criticism because it worked, and it worked. It increased their visibility. Now, last night I went and did a deep dive into their third album, which was called 3D Country. I haven't listened. They've got like 5 albums out. The first 3, at least this is my perception, and I could be wrong about this. The first 3 were self-produced, and then they got signed by a label, which I'm not familiar with, but now they are like industry produced. But the album 3D Country is very pop sounding. It's very classic rock pop sounding. Some of it reminded me of the Black Crowes' second album, which I thought was phenomenal, very soulful, a completely different band than what I saw on Saturday Night Live from that clip on Trinidad. And that's what has me convinced that they did that on purpose to get some bad press and get it over the top and get people saying that they're the worst ever in order to increase their visibility. And you could see at the end of the song, the lead guy, Cameron Winter or whatever his name is, he's detuning his guitar and laughing while the song's ending, and as they're kind of fading out of it. It's like laughing at, look, I got to yell at the bomb in my car like 10 times on Saturday Night Live. But you could see he was like pleased with himself, knowing that America just went, what the fuck was that?
Well, that was my strategy with my first comedy, quote, special, unquote, is to make it the worst one I possibly could so that people would say, this is the worst comedy special of all time in order to get me recognition. And it worked.
Yeah. It did work. It did work.
It worked.
So that's my whole point about this thing is I think it was intentional. So it's almost like they played all of us. They played everybody. People who were hating on, people who love them, everybody. They played it. Like this was an intentional marketing move, which, if you think about it, for something that is posed itself as counterculture, is really kind of bogus, right? Because counterculture, you don't care about marketing, you don't care about popular appeal and all this stuff, but they did it. And you'd have to really give me a strong debate to convince me that they didn't do it for attention, to get more eyes on them, to make more to market themselves.
Let's consider some.
What was that?
Somebody's getting hollered at.
Nah, it's just my computer.
Well, you plowed me in. Is that what it said? You plowed me in.
Yeah.
Siri.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do that, at least have some excitement about your band, and the song still needs to be somewhat catchy, even if it's still noise.
Have you done any deeper listening to them than what was on Saturday Night Live?
No, because I just wasn't really impressed. It's like if you're supposed to be, I don't know. Yeah, I just wasn't impressed by him.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying that you should. I'm just asking if you did.
Yeah,
because I did.
I haven't. There have been some bands that piqued my interest, but like that, it just seemed like, all right, we're just doing this for attention.
Every single song on 3D Country, I started with the first one, but with the title 3D Country, and went through it. And every single song impressed me more. As I listened to the second track, I was more impressed than the first track, and it was really good stuff. And I was like, wow, this is enlightening to me, because I learned that I judge really too quickly. When I saw the first clip, I thought, well, these guys are just self-indulgent, trying to show off what they learned in 2 years at Berkeley or wherever they went for music education. And they were just trying to impress musicians and piss off people who were non-musicians. And then I listened to the other stuff, and I was like, wow, this stuff is really interesting. It's not just musically, it's got a good solid groove to it. There's melody, there's cool harmonies, it's well produced, and then they go into some really musically impressive stuff, especially the percussionist. I'm telling you, this guy, the drummer in this band, has definitely studied some of the greatest drummers in the world. And he'll take like a pop song and then have this weird, super out of time, out of space percussive break that adds into it. And this is when they were self-produced. I haven't listened to their industry-produced stuff yet, but I'm thinking once the industry gets involved, they'll ruin it. So this is enough of promoting Geese. But I'm just copping to the fact that how quick I was to jump on the bandwagon that everybody's shitting on them, look at it and say, yeah, I don't understand this. My tendency is to think this is all they are. And then to know that I went to deeper listen, and they have some really, really not just impressive stuff, but stuff that I think has mass appeal. And that's where the stuff where I said it's like the Beatles going on Ed Sullivan, and instead of playing "I Want to Hold Your Hand," doing something like really abstract from one of some of their worst non-commercial stuff. It's like Helter Skelter would have been their first song. You could have seen America pulling their hair out of it, and the Beatles would have never taken off then. Maybe they would have taken off more. Maybe they would have said, that was horrible, the worst thing ever on Ed Sullivan. I don't know. Maybe times were different then. But anyway, so that's my Geese. I'm off the Geese platform.
Okay, that's good. That's a shame, because they were if you just talked about them 4 more minutes, they would have been guests on the show.
They don't care about what I think about them, and they shouldn't care about what I think about them.
No, it's not that they care what you think. It's the fact that you went a 180. You went from they suckity suck to they're better than I thought to, oh, they're pretty good.
Well, I'm still not saying something necessarily nice about them, because I do think they're a little bit hypocritical in that if you're going to be counterculture, be counterculture. If you're going to be counterculture and like be pro marketing and go on the most popular cult, and I'm not saying that SNL is all, the next.
But how many members are in the band? I mean, they may be saying this every 4. Oh, that's right.
4, and they have
right.
like 2 different people they call the fifth geese or fifth goose or whatever. This keyboard player that played with them on Saturday Night Live plays with them from time when they do live shows. Sometimes they also had a guitar player who quit it after their first album that they call the fifth geese.
The reason why I'm just saying is because I know that when the band that I played in the 80s, we had basically 4 types of songs. We had songs that were like the 3 of us wrote together. Okay, I should say 6 types. There's songs that the 3 of us wrote together. And then there's songs where like that Phil wrote when he was at home, and he comes in and says, okay, here's your guitar part, here's your keyboard part. There's songs that I wrote solo, and I come and say, here's your bass part, here's your keyboard part. And so each one, when those different, they're just different. And it's not that we were being hypocritical, it's that we were being like
this isn't about the music. The hypocritical part isn't. I'm not saying that it's about the music. It's they're putting themselves out there as this very countercultural, against culture thing, and then going on the most popular. And not again, Saturday Night Live might not appeal to everybody right now, but it's the only place where there is live music on that they are featuring new music artists. It is a very cultured platform.
Well, the Colbert Show does it as well, and I think they reach a different audience, I think, than Saturday Night Live.
Okay, but the hypocritical part is we're against culture, we're counter to culture. Let's go on culture. It's like that to me is like, if you're gonna be counterculture, don't go on Saturday Night Live. That then. You're just like people have to go out of their way to find you in the dark corners of the internet or wherever they're going to find you. But that's what you're putting out, like your one thing, and then going completely the opposite thing, and that's not necessary counterculture to be on Saturday Night Live. Anybody who goes on Saturday Night Live is not really.
It's just amazing you went that deep on it. Like I seen it, and like yeah.
Well, I was challenged to by Mishka Shubali, who he was saying basically, he was trying to say that anybody who was shitting on him is just an aged out boomer like my dad. And I was like, no, I've heard young people. That's
the challenge. Matt was like, okay, I don't mind prejudging bands, but don't you fucking call me old like your dad.
No, I said no. I totally agreed that I am an aged out boomer, and my perspective was, I haven't heard boomers saying that. I've heard young people saying that, but they should not be trying to impress me. What bothers me is when I see like a 22-year-old trying to sound like 1972 to impress me. I'm not going to be buying records. I'm at the age, or even downloading or listening to you on streaming stuff. I'm at the age where you shouldn't be trying to impress me. You should be trying to impress people your own age, trying to get an audience of younger people. If I like your music, that's not a good thing for your career. if I'm a fan, you're probably doing something wrong. And so I agree with him on that. But I disagreed with the fact that it was just boomers saying that, because I've heard Ron and younger people, much younger people than him, people in their 20s, saying that was really awful. I don't get it. That's not because they want to hear Taylor Swift. They want to hear pop music. They want to, even John Mayer. They want to hear something that is, and they can have an earworm, a hook, something not Trinidad. And
just the songs weren't good. But that explanation that you said, it sounds like the same people that try to justify Frank Zappa the same way. It's like, yeah, Frank Zappa made so much shitty music. Get over it. It's not great. But there are people that tell you, oh yeah, it's so great. Is it?
I was never like a super big fan of Zappa. He had some stuff that I got into for a while, but yes, and this is what I started off with was, I think they were trying to impress musicians, because from an analytical standpoint, if you're a musician and trying to play this stuff and you're transcribing it and breaking it down and trying to figure it out, it can be, wow, that's really original and different and hard to play sometimes. And so you will impress musicians. But musicians aren't going to buy your shit. They're doing their own shit, right? So,
And I think with Zappa, with the exception of Shake Your Booty, I don't think any of his other albums were like popular. The Mothers of Invention were. I mean, I think
Joe's Garage had some hit singles on it, and that was the only time he had Catholic Girls and what was it? Let me see. Go ahead.
Well, Shake Your Booty had Jewish American Princess, I think it was called, and I think the song Shake Your Booty, I think was. Let me see. I have that album downstairs. Matter of fact, that's the only Zappa album I bought, which is how I know it's commercial. I mean, and the thing, I used to like some Zappa stuff. Like I used to like he had a live New York album, which I liked. But I didn't hear about that until like the 78 or 79, something like that. So, yes, 79 to 80 when I heard about New York live at New York. So,
and also, is this band the current band to put like the current art band to push? Like, oh yeah, you should be cool and be in with this, and you will like Geese. Do you think it's something like that, like a cool kid type of push?
There is that's part of they're trying to tap into that kind of Nirvana vibe of it's noise on purpose, and we like that kind of thing. So there is a lot of
so their lead singer is going to commit suicide any day now?
Yeah.
So their lead singer is going to off himself any day now?
No, I don't think so. He seems.
Oh, then they can't. They can't commit. They're not committed.
Here's just what I just said is that I judge too quickly, so I am probably judging this too quickly. But seeing him laugh in delight and purposely detuning his guitar at the end of that song, I think he was enjoying the ride. Where I never saw Kurt crack a smile on stage ever. This guy was visibly laughing and like having a good time with it. So that's all I'm basing it on, and that's probably way too quick to make that snap judgment that the guy's not going to off himself at some point. But it didn't seem to have that kind of depressive angst. But they have been compared to like Velvet Underground and Nirvana and things like this, and I get that the trendiness of it. To Ron's point, I think there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people saying they like it because it's the emperor who's not wearing clothes, and I don't want to be the first one to say, hey, he looks pretty naked to me. And everybody's saying, well, don't you love the emperor's new clothes? But if you do the deep dive that I did, I was super impressed with the album 3D Country, and I'm probably going to listen to it again today because it was that good. I posted a lot of stuff track by track on my Facebook page if anybody's interested there. Now, I said 15 minutes ago we were done with Geese, but I'm still talking about Geese, right?
Well, yeah, but that's just you, man. That's par for the course. I don't think you're ever done with the topic that you say you're done with until after you're done with it.
I'm done with that topic of what topics I talk about.
Yeah. So
why is Sunshine saying Bruno Mars? Like I know.
I think we're talking about. I think you're talking about pop music or something.
Oh yeah, like if I said, Bruno Mars, he had that run for it was like top of the chart, and then he just kind of, I'm gonna take a break for 10 years. I'm gonna take a 10-year vacation.
He was actually more talented than I gave him credit for. I mean, as far as talent goes, right. I'm not a fan of his music per se. Some of it's like danceable and stuff, but I'm not in his music. While I'm impressed with his talent, I like music that's a little more challenging. As a general rule of thumb,
GD doesn't like him because he's extremely popular and has so many hit songs. But the reason he did disappear for a while, but he's back now making hits because he owes some gambling debts, apparently.
Gambling?
Yeah.
I would have never thought like gambling. Wow.
Oh shit. See that if I known he had a gambling problem, if he wants to gamble on my comedy career. That's if you want to really gamble.
I think in the past year, he did a song. I forget who he did a song with, but it was a hit song. And he said at the time, he's like, I needed that hit song because I have the gambling debts to pay.
Wow. Well, at least he's honest about it. So
Yeah, I mean, he's not lying.
That was the question I had the other day. Like, why create art if it not to communicate anything? And Ian and Elizabeth both were on the same page. As self-indulgence is one, but money is the other. And it's like, if you're creating for the money, it's not art. Whatever it is, it's if you're just doing it.
Then
if
it's
money
product.
Yeah, it's product, exactly.
Yeah, but he's pop music too, so it's most pop music is not like really it's not heavy or in depth. You just want something to sing along to.
Yeah, it could still be lowbrow art, but I think if money is your sole goal and you're not really trying to do anything, it's not art. It's a product. You're thinking in terms of I need the next can of Coca-Cola or whatever the hell it is you're trying to sell, and you're thinking in terms of that. You're not thinking as an artist. You're thinking now as a merchant. What can I sell? And
example given, stand-up comedy.
yeah, there's a lot of that in stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is becoming very. What passes for edgy is now not. Again, this is hypocritical. It's like almost like the counterculture being culture stuff. Edgy comedy used to mean anti-establishment and poking fun at whoever was in power. It doesn't matter if left, right, all that political bias stuff. Just punching up, and now it's becoming. How can I align myself with what's popular? Because I don't want to be edgy. Is taking all the risk out of it. The thought of what it means to be edgy is to be pro-Trumpet now. They're like, no, you're taking all the risk out of it and just playing to the MAGA crowd. Those are the only people left with any money.
I'm not sure if you guys seen, but like just a day or two ago, Ali Sadiq is surpassing like streaming numbers on Netflix, and he's just been releasing his specials straight to YouTube. And in the past year, he's released 3 different 1-hour specials, and he's performing better than comics on Netflix.
Yeah, is he making any money doing it? Well, I guess no.
Yeah, he is making money between that and the touring. He's making money from touring, and he's turned like what he's done into YouTube into like he's licensed a couple comedy specials.
Are they for sale on YouTube? I mean, is it pay on YouTube, or is it ad because the ads, 0.6 cents of a per stream is not gonna even. Yeah. And that's what we were talking about. Like
he's making some money from it, but I mean, it's probably not high dollars, but it's good enough that you can pull people in, then get them to come to the live show.
Well, he's making more than I am. That's a given.
Yeah. But it also speaks to him though, being able to do that and do better than the comedians on Netflix and shit like that. It's pretty cool.
I think Louis went through a thing like that.
He hates crowd work videos. He hates crowd work videos.
Wow. I saw John Pavaramo doing some crowd work the other night. It was great. He was in Delaware, and there was a woman in the crowd saying she was going to hurt him. She had a Southern accent, and he asked her where she was from. I was like, "Oh, this could get really ugly here." She said she was from Alabama, and so you moved to Delaware. How long? 6 years ago. He said, "Do you like it?" She said, "Some parts of it, some parts I hate." He said, "You missed the hangings." And I thought that was it was like, whoa, she threatened to murder me. What do you expect? But yeah, some people do well with crowd work. I don't necessarily hate crowd work. I hate people that only do crowd work, and they don't bother putting any material together whatsoever. So
yeah, like he was saying, is like, why are you doing something where you're just talking to somebody and you're just asking them about their job? It's like, that's not fucking funny at all.
Yeah. Oh, you two, how long you been together? How long you been married?
Yep.
I really give a fuck about that. I don't. I'm just trying to kill minutes. I'm doing time up here, and you just were 30 seconds of time that I can take
And
off my
one of
clock.
my favorite quotes about crowd work videos is from Mark Maron. It's like, why are you putting out these videos for a tool that gets me out of trouble occasionally?
Yeah. So you'll be watching Saturday Night Live again tomorrow night, right? or at least taping it tomorrow night.
Oh, hey, speaking of comedy, did you see that the comedian Corey Holcomb is on video punching a woman?
No.
Yeah, that came out yesterday. The video is pretty nasty. It was like it was after a show out in LA. I forget which comedy club, and they're out back, and like one of the women that was on the show roasting him or something like that. They got into an altercation, and he came up and punched her. And he's a big fucking guy too.
So is he going to jail or something? There's a lawsuit.
Well, yeah, it's probably gonna get ugly because apparently there is some history with this before, but now
the
they
same
have
woman
video.
or just with him punching a woman before?
Same woman. Same woman.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, so this is not just a random audience member. This is somebody who knew him.
It's another comic, I believe.
Well, sometimes you have to.
Now the story's getting more and more interesting as we go. Now, did either parties kind of address it in the press? Has anybody talked? Like,
It says Corey Holcomb has made a statement on it. Let's see. Oh no, wait, no, I'm sorry. He hasn't said anything yet. It looks like, but she has. Her name is Chris.
Why should he? He let his fist do the talking. He said everything he had to say. Wop wop. That's it.
Wow. GD is not going to be doing that person's driveway anytime soon.
Yeah, the
Christy
video.
Payne is the woman that he punched, right?
Yeah. The video is pretty rough. Still.
You said Christy Payne?
Christina Payne, Payne, not Pain.
Oh, it's the sound. Okay. No, so, well, shit happens. It's comedy. People are going to get punched, right? That's the new standard. I mean,
well, I'm listening. She's on TMZ, and they're making a statement right now. It's Christina Payne. I don't know right now. Didn't say live, but so apparently he had punched her once before she filed a police report or something, and nothing came of it. But now it's on tape, and she had the police didn't follow through on it.
Yeah, it's the story has grown a lot of hair.
See, that's the problem. See, because we've gotten so used to almost everything being on tape that if it's not on tape, it's like it didn't happen. Even if you have witnesses. I mean, I'm sure if he punched her before and they have witnesses, they should have done something. Unless they couldn't get the witnesses.
But we also don't know if there was intimidation either when that happened.
You mean like she intimidated him?
No, he intimidated her because, like I said, that guy he's not a small man at all.
No,
what about comedy? Big, yeah. What about the comedy hierarchy? Is he higher in the hierarchy than her? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who either one of these people are.
Yeah, for sure he would be.
The other part of this, oh my God, it's just this is the world we live in. There is so much fake bullshit out there that the minute something like this happens, are they both in on this? Is this stage? Is it both to increase their visibility? All this stuff. I remember Mark Norman did a really cheesy thing. He was in a comedy club and he was standing on stage, and some guy just came up out of the audience and stood on stage at him. He was looking at him like, what the fuck is this? Am I going to get attacked? The security guards came up and dragged the guy out, and he was arrested. Turned out that whole thing was faked, and I was really disappointed in Norman for doing that. But it was all to promote a movie or something. So, but we are in a time now when anytime something like this happens, even though it's on videotape, there's a lot of suspect about is this real? Is it staged? Is it for publicity? Is it a publicity stunt in some way? It doesn't sound like this is. It sounds, but even with that case, like with the other day with Omar, where people was right away jumping on, she's a Jesse Smollett of Congress. It's like, a guy got arrested. He basically, so she was telling him, I'll pay you to attack me with apple cider vinegar. You'll get beat up by security guards, charged, and just don't say anything about it.
You know what they're upset about is that she kept doing the town hall that she was doing, and a lot of her, and those elected officials haven't had, like Scott Perry, PA10 hasn't. It's actually been like almost. It's been 9 years since he's had an in-person town hall. 9 fucking years.
That not only did she continue, but she went after the guy. Her arm was like this. She was just ready because she's like, "Look, I'm from Somalia. I will fuck you up."
We celebrate. I celebrate Teddy Roosevelt, who got shot in the middle of a speech and kept delivering the speech. He got shot in the chest and finished the speech. So we'll celebrate Teddy for doing that, but she's wrong for continuing the speech after the guards dragged the guy. She did go after him a little bit, but the guards dragged him down, beat him up. You could see in court, he looks like that guy that attacked Dave Chappelle on stage that time when his arm was displaced and all that kind of stuff.
But also he looked kind of drunk. He looked pretty bad before then. He didn't look punched up, but I was looking at the video and he looked like he'd had a few drinks, or some kind of issue. I'm not going to say disappointed. I'm going to say I felt the man was being unimaginative just because he squirted her with apple cider vinegar. I don't know what the point is of that. Honestly, if I was trying to make a message, I would have gotten pig's urine. Plain and simple.
Well, maybe the message is he didn't have the balls to completely do something completely horrible. And it makes his case when he gets a lawyer and stuff, he could be saying, I'm just playing around.
He sprayed it with apple cider vinegar. I didn't even know. Like, what is that supposed to do?
Just have a smell.
Oh, you smell bad. You smell bad. Somebody having salad around here? I can't read what that says. Oh, that's Carl. Don't know why I checked. I can't see.
Don't know why I checked in from a London pub.
Oh, from a London pub.
Because you're in London, you twat. If you were in Manchester, you'd have checked in from a Manchester pub. You twat.
You called him a twat?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have. That's so American of me. Hey, what's up, my cunt? There you go.
What the hell is happening with you? Holy crap!
That's my cunt, man. That's what you call them.
They do say that word. They like that word over there. I don't know. When I first met Jamie, who introduced me to Carl, that was every other word out of his mouth. But he's Welsh, not English. Thanks for saying. I can't fucking read, man. Thanks for saying something. What is he saying? I can't. Twat.
Thanks for saying twat.
Why? Tough women against tyranny. Twat. You can get your twat. You can get your twat T-shirts and sweatshirts in the Mind Dog merch store. Want me to show you what they look like? It's Tough Women Against Tyranny. So yeah, where are we? Are we here? Are we? Ron, you're getting ready to celebrate me getting plowed in, aren't you? You're paying off Long Island snowplow drivers to stalk me and wait for the snow to start falling so that they will plow me in, and then you will have a celebration, live celebration of Matt getting plowed into his driveway on YouTube, Twitch, all the platforms, right? I'm right.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna start collecting funds since Trump is suing the IRS. So
we're done, aren't we? Done. I mean, as far as America goes, I did want to talk about this because he's seizing voter rolls now, and to me, my first instinct was the seizing voter rolls in Fulton County, especially. This is not about
those. I think he's seizing ballots.
Yeah. And Don Lemon was arrested today.
Right.
They're seizing ballots in Fulton. Ballots from 2020.
Okay, but my instinct on this is he's not really trying to prove that he won the 2020 election. He knows he didn't. He's just seizing them so he can say we have evidence and never show it. It's kind of like his new Sharpie, right? Remember when the hurricane, we know that this was the hurricane's path, and he's like, no, that's not what it was. And like, yes, that's what it was. Well, I'm just going to draw it and say, no, it went here, and there's my proof. This is kind of that. I'm just going to claim that we have the proof now, and he's never going to show the proof.
I think there's two things here. One is that he, like I said, the man's a fucking idiot. But on the other side, beyond that, I think they're trying to set like a precedent, because before he couldn't get the other branches of, you know, the Justice Department. They wouldn't do it. But he wanted the military to do it. In order for the military to do it, they have to believe there's a foreign threat, which is why Tulsi Gabbard is there, because she's saying it's a matter of national security because foreign governments interceded or interfered with that election. That's their pretense. And if it flies there, then they can probably get it to fly, you know, like in New York. If I can make it in here, I can make it anywhere. If they can make it work in Fulton County, they could do other Democratic-leaning counties as well.
That's what Minnesota was really all about, because Pam Bondi
said Minnesota was about the voting rolls. That was about the voter information.
Right.
But that's not about seizing the machines. Fulton County, that's about getting the military a valid reason to seize the machines, and the valid reason because they convinced a judge
to intimidate people when they come to vote in 2026. Yeah, I get
it. But somehow they get. Now think of this: for years there was no headway. No judge would say no. There's no reason for you to have that. You can't subpoena those. You can't have those ballots. You can't. So somewhere along the line, they found something that convinced the judge that they gave them a warrant to seize those ballots. So they came up with something after 5 years.
The same judge from Missouri, a federal judge from Missouri, who signed the warrant, right? And it's the same one who kind of, I don't know, gave the okay for some company in Missouri to buy Dominion. Remember Dominion, the one that got, so that they won't be. They're in the tank for Trump Dominion voting machines. Here you go. And so this is my point, that we're done. Aren't we done? This is America is over now. There's no chance. Listen, they were rigging elections when it was not. Now they're just doing it like in broad daylight and saying, we're just going to.
But here's my counterpoint.
Go ahead, talk me off the fucking ledge one more time.
I don't know if I can touch you off the ledge. I'm just saying the counterpoint to that is, if your business is that you make machines, which is supposed to be accurate in counting, but you're now going to not do that, your whole fucking business model is gone. And so the whole reason for existing and making money is gone. You're going to lose a lot of money, because they're not the only people that make voting machines. Diebold makes voting machines. Oh, and not only that, Diebold doesn't just make voting machines; they make ATMs. Okay, if Dominion's trying to make all of their money from voting machines, that's a terrible business model. They have to make other things. If they lose their credibility, they're losing millions, maybe billions of dollars. For what? For Trump and the Republican Party? Their first responsibility is supposed to be to their shareholders. There's not responsible behavior to their shareholders if they're going to be fucking things up just for Trump and the Republican Party. If I'm a shareholder, and that's true that they're doing this, I'm suing.
If you're a shareholder and you're not part of it, but I think the shareholders are part of the Trump cult. That's all the major.
Even if they're part of the Trump cult, they're shareholders because they want to make money. They're not shareholders because they want political influence. That's not why they became shareholders.
Having the president of the United States indebted to you,
he's not going to be president forever. But corporations corporations quote do not die because they're not people.
Right, but they feel like owning, and not just Trump, but the Trump presidency and the Trump legacy, and being part of this cult that they see, obviously Trump is not going to be alive forever. You can do that
with money. You don't have to fuck up with your product. You don't have to fuck up your moneymaker. You can throw a couple of $1 million his way and buy influence. You don't have to fuck up your business model and screw the company like that.
Well, I think they think in long term. I'm not speaking for them, but I think they think in long term, this is a better strategy. Owning part of a piece of the rock, if you will. Let me read this. Don Lemon, the former CNN anchor, was arrested late on Thursday on charges that he violated federal law during a protest at a church in Minnesota earlier this month, according to his lawyer. Now, what is the federal law? What is the law that he brought? Like you're not allowed to protest in a church.
Protesting
Or
while black.
counter protest in a church.
The
Protesting
best
while
thing
black.
you can hope for at this point, because this administration is good at doing bad things, but they're also so inept, and the leadership is not great. And so it's like I don't know, those people always leave crumbs, it seems.
Crumbs.
So even no matter what they try to do, they always seem to find a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
But they're still there and still running things. I mean, it does appear that they're winning.
It's like an up and down.
Where's the when do we get the down? Because I mean, they're down. When do I see them go down? The accountability. I've been hoping on this since like 2021 or 2017. The Mueller stuff. Everything. Every time I start to think there might be some accountability and somebody might be held
I don't think
accountable
there'll be
within this.
exactly accountability, but I think this year is the year that shit really starts to happen, because it's harder and harder to keep blaming Biden the further and further away you get from when Biden was in office. And like the first 6 months of the presidency, yeah, you can blame it and you can inflate the numbers to look like the economy is doing well. But this year will be the real stress test. And that's what Minnesota was. Minnesota was a stress test.
As far as the economy goes, he is weakening the dollar, and now he. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the headline this morning was that he replaced Powell as the chair of the Fed with a lackey for him, who's going to.
I don't think he's replaced him yet. He's just looking for replacements. He's got 4 people that he wants to replace him with. I don't think he can replace Powell. I think Powell's term is almost up, though.
Trump nominates Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell as the next chair of the Federal Reserve.
Right.
Kevin Warsh, who is a Trump lackey.
Well, all 4 of them would be lackeys. The 4 people that he picked, all of them would have been a lackey.
Right.
So it's the most lackey of the lackeys.
Right. So
the one lacking the most ethics is the one most likely to be his lackey.
Right. And well, according to Powell, now I don't know Jerome Powell, and I'm the least financially educated person in the world, because I've never really given a fuck about it. But he was saying that all Trump's policies are bad for the economy, and he was holding steady on not bringing interest rates down because that would do more harm to the economy. So, but if Ron's take on this is, I mean, the economy is pretty fucking bad right now, and a lot of people still aren't admitting it. But if it gets much worse, I still don't think it will matter to them. I think they think that's winning for them. I think that's part of the intent. I don't know why
maybe
or how.
For them, but what I'm saying is that you can only push people to a certain limit, and yeah, they want people.
You would hope.
Yeah. Right. And when the economy really tanks and more people are out of work and people start getting angry, and remember, in the end, there's more of us than there is of them.
And what they're hoping for is that when we rebel against each other and not against the upper class.
Yes.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. And you could take this discussion like very deep, because that's what they want. You know, united we stand, divided we fall. They don't even take their own bullshit. They claim to love America, but they don't want to fucking. I don't know what I'm going to say here. I don't know. Fuck
yeah, but even like Amazon, has like a big layoff going on right now. I think 14,000 corporate jobs getting laid off, but
Yeah.
they're still in the tank with all this fucking stuff. But there is this kind of national strike thing that they're planning. This doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me stop buying anything, like don't buy food, don't buy gas, and that's gonna hurt them. No, that's gonna leave me fucking destitute, and then they'll have it all. And then, so how is this?
Well, and again, because there's some things that are necessities. You're gonna have to buy food, you're gonna buy gas, and even if you like bought it in advance, it's going to run out eventually. You're gonna have to go back and get more gas. But what they could do is, like I said, I mean, they could have blackouts, or be more. If they could buy less, but use less gas, drive the pricing. Use less gas, you can drive prices down. Like carpool more, or don't take the extra trips that you don't need. That'll drive prices down. When it comes to like the other stuff, stop fucking shopping at Amazon. I mean, really make, I mean, yeah, I understand that sometimes the prices are just ridiculously low at Amazon, but the long run is you're paying a lower price and you're fucking yourself in the ass. Okay? You're fucking yourself in the ass for cash. That's what you're doing. The same with the Walmarts and stuff like that. We're losing options, and we don't have options, and you don't have choice. We have to pay what they tell us to pay. We're fucking ourselves.
So what does it take to break your hope? Because it sounds like you're just going to hold on to this whole. I'm trying to drag you onto the ledge and jump with me.
That you can't do that, because when I get to the ledge,
I think there's.
Hold on. Let me ask the question. Put the question out there, and you guys could answer it however you fucking want to answer it. But I think, how many times do you need to be disappointed before you give up thinking, oh, something's going to work? Because we've seen the Epstein file, the Mueller. Well, you could go down the list of all these things that were supposed to be the end of this nonsense. We thought Harris was going to win. All the things we thought. How is there anything that would kind of make you say, well, there's no winning here? Nothing works against this fucking Satan.
If I ever reach that point that I'm that desperate to just give up hope, then I'll probably pick up arms. And I don't own a gun, so that means that would be the first tell in my neighborhood that I actually went out and got trained and got a gun, because then they'd be worried about my target, not the store. But I'm not at that point. Because
but again, the question I had in there, like, is there anything? There's nothing that could get you to say, well, this is just, it's hopeless, because we've seen every time hope pops its head up, it's like whack-a-mole. It's gone. Mueller. I mean, you can go down all the fucking glimmers of hope.
What happens? What finally happens when ICE goes into someone's house and exercises their Second Amendment right? That will be a breaking point.
It's clear what that is, the excuse they're looking for to just go all out martial law.
It won't be that easy. What happens when one of those ICE guys does not identify themselves, forcibly breaks into some person's house, and it is your legal right to put that person down?
Yeah. What happens in the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act. There's already like a cunt hair away. Oh, I mean a twat hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Carl Manhair away.
Right, from just from declaring the Insurrection Act, and then we're basically in civil war at that point, which everybody, oh, you're crazy. Why are you even saying that? What else?
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay,
there's a couple things, because I'm backtracking to you was talking about giving up the hope and stuff, and all the things that people thought would be the turning point. I think, again, this is my own unprofessional.
Just do me a favor. Say tipping point, not turning point. Turning point is the Charlie Kirk thing. Go ahead.
Okay, the tipping point. And this is my own unprofessional opinion, not for anything that I got from like some kind of source. But if you look at people in general, when they see something about to happen good, sometimes they let their foot up off the gas. So with the Mueller report, they're like, the Mueller report's out, and they let up off the gas. And same thing, with other protests. People says, look, no kings, and they let up off the gas. People have finally learned that with someone like Trump and these acolytes, you can't let up off the gas, and you can't just fight with one thing. So yes, you protest, but you don't stop the protest. You write letters, but you don't stop writing the letters. You document, and that is the most important thing. The most important thing we can do is shed light so that they can't do this shit in the dark and get away with it. So that not only do we know it, they know we know it, and other people gain strength. Some people are sitting on the sidelines because they're afraid, they think they're alone. They think they'd be the only one doing this, and they feel like they'd be a target. But we together, yes, they can do what they can to fuck us over, but still, like Ron says, there are hundreds of millions of us. And if we fight together and don't stop the fight until the war is won, not just the battles, but the war, then we start the rebuilding. That's the problem. The problem is we get a little gain and people let up off the gas. And they go like, oh, look, we got this. We got a crumb. Like,
well, there's also no urgency.
Yay, we got rid of Kristi Noem. Yay. It's like, no, it's not just Kristi Noem. It's fucking Coleman. It's fucking Miller. It's fucking Trump. It's all of them. Don't celebrate because we got rid of Noem.
If I was running a campaign right now, one of the things I would run on is getting the Second Amendment people on a moderate ticket, because you could easily explain, look, they want to take your guns, and it's the people that you have trusted for decades that have used you, because you can clearly see anytime a Republican runs, gun sales don't really spike, but when a Democrat does, the gun sales spike because they run on that. Like, they're going to take your guns. You can flip that on them right now easily.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but, and this there's always a but, is that it's been very clear. Trump is all over this. You can't have guns. You can't have guns. You can't, and none of those Second Amendment people give a fuck at this point. None of them are saying.
No, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
The NRA is punching back. Quite a few Republicans, like senators. I'm not saying quite a few. I mean like 2 or 3, are starting, and also some of the right-leaning publications are starting to say, no. We want our guns. We bring them to protest. We like to march down the street with our guns. What the fuck are you talking about?
Trey Gowdy said that, and on Fox News, which was really impressive because he's got his nose so far up Trump's ass. But they're giving lip service to it. But when it comes to saying abandoning Trump or getting off the Trump train, even though they will criticize this, wait a minute, we are gun rights people, and we're
but that's how it starts. As I said, that's how it starts. With Gowdy, maybe Gowdy is like the perfect person, but the fact that he said that out loud, other people who actually mean it and would abandon the Trump train will hear it and go like, okay, yes, that's my issue. Because there are a lot of single issue voters or people that think they're single issue voters until another issue pops up that really, really fucking hurts them. But right now, the people like Second Amendment issue people, they're like, okay, I heard Gowdy on Fox.
I bet you, he's no longer part of our audience, Mike Shavola, but he's a big gun guy. I bet you right now, if you ask him, he would probably say, yeah, that's wrong, man. They're trying to take guns away. I'm still going for Trump. Because
I don't think so.
Let me just, in their mind, they've so team focused on the Democrats are bad, libs are bad, that beat them at any cost, even if it's giving up my one principle that means the most thing to me, the thing I based my fucking identity on for the last 40 years. I'm ready to give that up to own the libs. I promise you, if Dopey Shavola was here today, he would be saying that.
I don't know how relevant this is in November, but it was a poll taken of Republicans. Donald Trump has dropped 9% with just Republicans. in popularity, and that started with the Second Amendment thing. Okay, that's so, but they're not going to. They have not switched to the Democratic Party. When they were asked how would they vote, they'd say independent. Now, what that means is, if you get a libertarian in a primary, in a general election, when they have three choices, a Democrat and a Republican and an independent, and the 9% of those Republicans switch to the independent, and if the Democrats stay home, that could be a Democratic seat. That could be a Democratic Senate seat. That could be a Democratic congressional seat, a House seat.
You mean if the Republicans stay home?
No, I meant stay home, like stick with their party. If the Democrats stick with their party, stay home with the Democrats, and the Republicans that are abandoning ship and go vote independent, that could be a few seats, 1 or 2 seats, because these things are really close. These elections, not just the elections, but the dynamics in the House, the dynamics in the Senate are pretty close. There's only a few seats available.
But most of the Democrats need to go too, because most of them are cucks. They have no backbone. They've laid down on so many things.
Well, that's kind of the point I wanted to make when GD was talking about letting up the foot on the gas. They are really even hesitant to put their foot on the gas in the first place. Like they're planning.
I'm talking about the people, not the parties. I'm talking about the people.
I'm talking about the people too. I'm talking about this No Kings rally. They want to flood the streets. When? How about the end of March, early April? It's a little cold outside right now. Well, I don't really want. And if we learned anything, I mean, if you're serious about it, you don't fucking care about the weather. But then, let's get in the street.
There are tens of thousands of people protesting just last week, even if it's not called No Kings.
How much time are you spending on Twitter, Matt?
Not much at all. I haven't been on Twitter much at all, but I am, because of the nature of what this is. I'm publishing to like Facebook and other kind of stuff, but the constant feeds, even on YouTube, on my YouTube stuff, and the chat and the stuff that comes up in the comments, my notifications all the time, seeing lots of that. In the last 2 weeks, I haven't been on Twitter more than what it takes to publish here. When I'm publishing there, for some reason, Chrome has this weird update when you share stuff from YouTube. Now I share this show from YouTube over there. It does it twice for some reason. Like you can't do this. It says, well, you're trying to repost something you just posted. And I know that's not me. It's YouTube or Chrome or something doing that. But to answer your question, not a lot of time on Twitter at all, but that doesn't mean I'm still not exposed to people sharing stuff from Twitter with me.
Have either of you noticed the influx of like conservative bullshit stuff on your feeds?
Conservative what stuff?
Conservative bullshit. Like on Facebook, where there will be pages like conservative ass pounders, and it'll be like, this person is stealing this, or either always someone's committing fraud or they're woke, typically.
Well, the thing is, Ron, I've always been bombarded with left and right leaning stuff because they haven't figured out where I sit. So I still get posts asking me to contribute to Trump. Matter of fact, I got one that says, "Am I going to contribute again?" It's like, again, I never gave a fucking penny the first time. So the algorithms politically, they haven't figured out where I lean. Now they have figured out that I like puppy videos, and they have figured out that I like otter videos and kitten videos and chicken videos, animals. They know I love animal videos. So
have
unless
you deleted TikTok? Have you deleted TikTok yet?
Not yet, because I'm still using it to promote things.
I never had it on my phone. I the only time I've used TikTok is on my desktop. But should I close my account? Is that what is being?
I deleted the app and stuff, because if you look in the new user agreement, they want to collect all sorts of information about you, and it's not good. But the good thing about capitalism is, now, hopefully, the market should correct and TikTok should die and probably will be replaced by another app, because the kids have moved on. The kids have moved on, everybody.
See, TikTok has never done anything for me to keep it. Like for me personally, I've never gotten any benefit out of it. I think that the most views of any video I ever gotten, it doesn't even reach 1,000. And that's my best video ever that I posted there. But I do have people, I gotta make money somehow. So I'm helping people with marketing stuff, and they require me to be on TikTok at least for their accounts and stuff. So I'm not sure me leaving there, me like closing my account. What are they really? I mean, what am I losing by being on there? They know I'm not voting for Trump. I think they don't have to. They don't have to go to TikTok to find out that I'm an anti-Trumper. So. I don't know. I should probably close my account, but I will. How about that? I'll commit to doing it. All right? Are we happy?
You should do it. Why?
I'm going to do it right now.
The Americans have ruined TikTok. Why should you endorse it?
All right. You guys talk amongst yourself while I delete TikTok. I'll close my account on TikTok. I'm doing it right now on Ron's advice. You see this CD? You want to get me to do something? Have Ron tell me to do it.
Oh, okay. So now you're telling me I'm dealing with a child? Depending on if someone says you to do the right thing to do, it's like I'm not going to do the right thing until I hear it from so and so. First of all, I'm not going to tell you what to do, so forget about that.
I'm looking at how I even on settings. How do you close your account here? Business account, private account. No. Account settings.
Ron,
delete.
Now, like I said, I used to get. I mean, the most shares and reposts I've ever had on stuff was from TikTok, and stuff that YouTube would go like. Literally, like I would post the same thing on YouTube and on TikTok, and on YouTube you get like 4 views, and on TikTok I was getting like 30,000, which for me is a lot. Okay, I think the most views I've ever had was like 50,000. Again, for me that's a lot. I know somebody out there's like, really? My farts get 50 million views. I don't care. I'm talking about me now, not you. But so it's really weird for me to. Like I said, I've benefited. Well, not financially. I haven't benefited financially from any of these fucking things. Not one of them. As a matter of fact, if anything, I've lost more money on TikTok promoting things than I have made money promoting things on TikTok. When I buy those booster things.
The key is you have to find a platform you like and really stick to that one. And kind of use the other ones maybe as secondaries. But like TikTok punishes you if you upload a video and like Post and Ghost. If you upload a video to TikTok, you're supposed to be on the platform for a little bit of time, so the algorithm sees that you're not just doing shit like that, and you have to interact on any platform too for the algorithm to kind of get any type of attention. Then beyond that, your content just has to be interesting. What the algorithm deems interesting, that it'll push. Like on Instagram currently, like before on Instagram, followers were important. Yeah, I mean, if you have a lot, fine. But now it's not that important anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because I only have 6 followers on Instagram.
Interaction. Engagement and all that kind of stuff. They're not. This is fucked up. They're not letting me delete my account. They say, first of all, you got to put in your password. I put in my password. I know this is the only password I've ever used there. It's the one I just logged in with, and they tell me that's incorrect. So they're not even letting me close my account over there, deactivate my account.
Now, Ron, I have a question for you, real quick, and I know, and I'm going to try to do this so that it doesn't trample on because it's similar to a joke you do, but I'm not doing it because of the joke. I'm doing it because of something that I've seen in my feed. I have a great niece who puts on these videos, and she's always like, putting these videos on. She's always like got the breast sticking up, and she's like combing her hair and nothing substantial. She's combing her hair, and there's music playing, and she's like, "Look at me, I'm sexy." I want to be like supportive of my family. It's like, okay, yeah, But on the other hand, she's trying to create like a thirst trap. And I'm like, look, I'm not your thirst trap. I'm your great uncle. I'm trying to be supportive. But on the other hand, I don't want to like it because I don't really approve of it. You know, I don't approve of her creating thirst traps. But you have kids, right? They're like what, 9, 10 kids now? I forgot.
Apparently, college hacked my
When did you start
password.
reproducing? Was it 6 or 7? I can't remember. But you have
No,
a
I
lot
only
of
have
kids
3
out there.
kids.
Oh, that's right. I forgot 3. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So say no more. Say no more. If your daughter was creating a thirst trap, would you like be supportive and go like, yeah, I like it? Or would you be like, not like it and then talk to her on off the side and go like, honey, go. Well, actually, that's no different because mine is my great niece, not my daughter. But do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be grandfathered in, so to speak.
Yeah, I would appreciate that she would tell me. Then maybe I could block that profile.
So my
But
TikTok
then,
is closed. Thanks
but
to
I would have
Carl
a
for
talk with
reminding me
her.
of my password.
I would I would have a talk with her and like, where are you hoping to go with this? Do you have like a plan? Or are you just out here shaking your ass?
Yeah, because her mother, my niece, makes similar videos. As a matter of fact, my wife stopped. Had to like block them. She's like, I'm tired of looking at your. She says, I know she's your family, but I'm tired of looking at your niece's breast. I don't care about seeing your niece's. No, not the whole breast. You don't see the
But
areola.
what if you had a nephew and his name was MD Fenderson, Monster Dick Fenderson, and he's like, check out my profile, and he's just there with his,
I'd feel
dick?
the same way about that. I would. And that's only because first of all, Monster Dick means he got more of my father's genes than I did. Okay, which it's sad. It's sad that he got.
Well, monster doesn't necessarily mean big. It could just mean like fire
grotesque.
breathing.
Yeah, it could be grotesque. Monster Dick, it got scales and claws.
Or just ugly. Yeah, just ugly.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe he dresses like a dragon. Yeah,
and it breathes fire. It's got this burning.
I'm into Frankenstein porns where I dress up as Frankenstein.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah. So you hopeful bastard. No one. I think the overriding message here today is get yourself a snowblower, not a snowblower, a snowplow, and just fill yourself with hope. And don't listen to any. Don't buy into any negative news, and just go la-di-da, kumbaya. Everything's gonna be okay.
No,
like
you
Ron.
should be vigilant, but I think
So
there's a
plan
lot
on
of people
getting out in
out
the
there
street and
that you don't
20.
hear that are pissed off at this administration.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is from their own people too.
All right. Let me see if I can read this message that somebody texted me yesterday because they just realized about my ICE situation and they was expressing sympathy. And then they tell me what's going on with their family overseas. And then what he says, and this is where it sounds a little like you guys. A little, but he goes further than you guys. He says, what I'm witnessing is the end of all the and all masks are off. It shows that they are losing control, maximum brutality and lawlessness. You know they are not telling the truth, but I see it work. I see works. Consciousness is rising. Consciousness is rising, according to him. There is more to the truth than what we see in the surface. If I tell you about the science that is here and is the answer to all human needs, from energy, medicine, travel, food, almost at no cost. We can even create matter from gold, silver, anything we need. I'm saying this with proof that is not talk. That's what I'm getting. And it sounds a little like you guys. That's hopeful, consciousness rising. It's at a turning point. They're losing control. And then what I'm seeing is they're just losing control while they're just marching in and taking voter rolls, taking ballots, doing whatever the fuck they want. Everything they say they can't do, he does. And but what about law? What about the law? They are the law now. So that what do you make of that? Can we you think there's anything to that kumbaya message? The consciousness
I'm
is
sorry,
rising.
I was eating pecans. I can't hear over the crunching. What did you hear it, Ron?
I think at the end of it, he told Matt to go back to Mexico, which was weird.
Yeah,
Go back to
okay.
Mexico.
I was like, go back to Mexico, you spick, or something like that.
I would love to go back to Mexico. If somebody want to pay my way, I'm willing to make a deal with the United States government. You want to give me all my Social Security? Let's just give me 20 years of my Social Security that's coming, and just assume that I'm going to live to 86, okay? And let's give me 20 years of that upfront payment. I'm gone. I'll go to Mexico.
Now, that was part of my platform when I was running for Congress. Not exactly what you said, but if
to
you
give Matt his 20.
No, when you first retired, your first Social Security check would be 10% of your entire contribution of what you've done. So let's say over your entire working life you contributed, let's say $500,000. When you retire, your first Social Security check will be $50,000, 10%. And the reason being is when you go from working to retiring, your whole world is fucking changing. And so this check is to help you. Let's say you have a car note. Let's say you have $4,000 left. It'll help maybe pay off your car so you don't have a car note. Maybe it'll help you refinance your house so you can get a lower house payment. Maybe it'll help you take that last trip because once you retire, you may not have the money to take that trip. Or maybe you just want to give a little money to your grandkids so they have something. Because once you're on Social Security in retirement, it's a totally different ballgame. So that first check helps as a transition, and then from then you get your regular standard Social Security check. That was part of my plan.
No wonder nobody voted for you, not even your mother. It's a terrible thing.
I think that's a great policy myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stood on it.
Well, I'm down with it, but I can see why you didn't run the numbers. You didn't crunch the numbers of this.
Yeah, I did crunch the numbers. I didn't tell you how I was paying for it yet. I was just talking about that one particular thing. I was paying for it by closing the donut hole in Social Security. And also, instead of, like Elizabeth Warren says, instead of income tax, it'd be a wealth tax. So these people can stop hiding their money in their houses and yachts and shit. If you've got a yacht, there's a wealth tax. If you got 9 houses, there's a fucking wealth tax. You're not living in all fucking 9 houses. You're probably renting them. Or maybe they're just sitting there and you just rotate once a month or something. Yeah, but that's how I would pay for it. I would pay for it just like Elizabeth Warren said with the wealth tax, and I would close that donut hole in the Social Security donut hole.
I got to turn back to the stress relief meditation and do that again.
Okay.
You got me all stressed out now because the more you talk about hope, the less I have. We're doomed. The overall.
I used to date a woman named Hope, and while it lasted, it was like, and let's put it this way: you ever date somebody and things turn to shit, but you don't realize it's shit because every time you look at them, you forget how, it's like, man, she's gorgeous, and you forget how shitty they are to you. Every time you see them, it's like, man, she is so fucking gorgeous. And then she like steps on you and she stabs you and she burns your face with a torch. And then you go like, oh, fuck, that hurts. And then you look at her face and her body and you go, man, she's hot. That's how I feel sometimes.
No, that's not
when you
me.
say hope, that's what I think of.
Well, I know we're over time here. The other night I did a show on Charles Manson and the life and times of Charles Manson and the murders and stuff. And Terry Melcher, who owned the La Bianca house before, he had just sold it. And I think this was somebody, he was a record executive that Charles Manson was like pitching to, and he kept rejecting Manson. And the theory was that Manson was really sending people to kill Meltzer. He thought Meltzer still owned the house. He had just sold it a month before.
Right.
But turned out he's Doris Day's kid, and he went to move. Doris Day had gone broke at this time, and he went to move in back with mom, and he started a television show in the late 60s for Doris Day to kind of make some money. And the author was going into this whole bit, and all I could think of was, okay, Sarah. And what whatever will be, I guess. But I didn't even know there was a Doris Day connection, and that's a surprise. A Doris Day connection to the Manson murders. There you go.
It's 6 degrees of separation. I'm sure if we dig enough, we can find a connection between you and Manson.
Yeah.
Me
Hey,
and
I'm gonna go.
Manson?
Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go see the Melania movie? This movie, because there's supposed to be an epic fight scene between Jeffrey Epstein and Charlie Kirk in it. So you should go.
No, are you making that up? You're making that up.
He is.
Because
the epic fight scene is between the people who donated money to it and the people who said to them, "No, really, you're going to get your money back." That's the epic
If I
battle.
hear the fucking joke that somebody broke into my car and left 2 Melania tickets one more fucking time, it's like it's like these.
I never heard that. I have not heard that joke. Not that somebody would ever tell me that.
It's just like the Trump award stuff. It's like once a comedian shares, or even somebody who's not a comedian, just shares a stupid joke on social media, everybody feels like they're going to tell it and nobody's heard it before. It's like, come on, dude, this is it's too much. Stop with that fucking joke, please. We've heard it all. GD didn't hear it. Put it on his fucking time.
No, I don't need to hear it.
Yeah,
I just heard it.
You need to hear it now a million more times.
And stay tuned, because after the credits, everybody, there's a special little treat.
I'm just tired of you guys kumbaya hopeful attitude here. Get on the ledge with me. Come on, let's jump together. I need at least push me. Come on the ledge and act like we're going to jump.
To be honest, Matt, part of the reason why you'll never get me on the ledge is because you put yourself on there by overreacting to some things. And so I'm not that. I'm not going to overreact to stuff. That's not me.
I'm not asking you to jump. I'm asking you to push me.
No, because I had to come out on the ledge to do it. I've watched those movies where you go out on the ledge. You never go out on the ledge with a person who thinks they want to jump. You don't do it. Did you ever see the movie? Was it Heroes or Hero with Dustin Hoffman and Andy Garcia and Gina, Jeff Goldblum's wife, Gina.
Yeah, Gina. Yeah, right. I know.
Okay.
Gina
Gershon? No,
not Gershon. Man, she's cute.
Gina.
The tall woman, Gina.
Thelma and Louise. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that one.
Gina
Davis. Yeah, the three of them were in this movie, and Andy Garcia was on the ledge. He was going to jump, and Dustin Hoffman's character doesn't want him to jump. But he's about to go out there, and they said, "No, don't go on the ledge. You never go on the ledge." And he goes out there, and but it's a, how should I put it? It's not a great movie, but I love Dustin Hoffman in it. I think the movie gets like a 6 out of 10 overall, but Dustin Hoffman to me gets 9 out of 10 in this movie. I love Dustin Hoffman in it.
Get shorty. All right. Well, you guys have you're not getting in this what I'm getting, so fuck you. That's what I'm saying. You guys have a fun laughing at people who are getting plowed in, because I know that brings you joy.
They're coming for you, Matt. Me and GD have spread the word. They're coming.
Don't do that. You know how much hate I get mail from Matt as it is. After the Reverend does his church thing, I usually send Matt a thing that thanks him. I said, "Thanks, Matt. I appreciate you. Have a good Sunday." Matt goes, "I'm not having a good Sunday. Fuck off." Or don't tell me what kind of Sunday they have. Eat shit and die. I'm glad you got ass raped in your bedroom by your wife. He does.
I guess I gotta change. Yeah, maybe I ought to change my mantra. That ass rape thing is getting kind of old. Matthew Burdick said, when I said that guy, when I told that guy, "I'm glad you got ass raped in prison," he said, "I tell you what, he's glad he got ass raped in prison too." If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Like that, if I wasn't for ass rape, I wouldn't have any rape at all. Oh,
I love that song from Hee Haw. I used to crack up everything. I used to sing that song. I can't remember all the words now, but it's like, if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Yeah. I can't remember the rest of the song.
I hate it.
Where are you tonight?
That's right.
Did you leave
me here all alone?
I searched the world
over, and I thought I found true love. Then I
You
so
met another.
and then it was gone. Yeah.
Right. All right. And then when it was gone, you know what time it was?
Oh yeah, it's time to turn on your.
You didn't see that come.
listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.